Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Lost Saga Tier list. Stream number 6. Alright, so I gotta rip a band-aid off right now. I've mentioned this before, and I even had it in the going live notification, I think. I need to reslot everybody every single time now. It saved it the first couple of times. It hasn't been saving it lately. And rather than reslot everybody... Actually, hang on just one second. Rather than spend 20 minutes resetting everybody, I'll have it ready for next time, I promise. And 2, I would rather... I practice what the characters we'll be going over tonight, just so I'm not fumbling and bumbling for most of it. I know how they mostly play. We'll be starting from, I believe we left off on Striker. We're going to be here. So if you missed last time, I highly recommend Yomu in particular. Yomu, if you are listening, I think you would very much like Nangin, aka Wanderer. It's not the final version anyway, thank you. Either way, let's go ahead and begin. Just because I feel like some of y'all missed it, I'm going to briefly show you guys the last 2 characters we did last Lost Saga tier list. And those were what I feel are the start of an amazing and incredible string of normal general characters you can unlock just by playing the game. Starting with Dragon Slayer. I mean, what more needs to be said? Excuses to show them off again. I won't go through the whole thing. I'm just going to briefly show you. If you want to see a more in-depth look at them, go ahead and check out the end of the last stream. These were the last 2 characters we went over. Dragon Slayer, 4-hit basics. You can jump cancel the last hit. You get a nice 2-hit jumper. You have a 3-hit dasher that you can combo off of. Or rather, I believe you can loop it more than once. Yes. Also, I just need to mix my audio here, sorry. Okay, so that ain't it, because you have a hold D that will, it used to like make the characters stand up and run away in fear, but it will launch them, so off of any knockdown, well, guess what? You can basically go into this string. Sorry, the game's like oddly laggy. I'll see what I can do about that. In fact, let me see what I can do about that right now. Would also probably help to be playing music. We'll go ahead and do that. Apologies. I swear I thought I was ready for this. All right. So you do that combo, and then you have this follow-up. If you land the last hit, it'll knock them back a bit, and then if you press guard at any point after roaring, so after roaring you get a 4 or 5 hit string, and you can end it with a fireball whenever you want. You want to know the craziest part? I've closed everything. You know what? Get out of here, Steam. Who needs ya? Steam sale's over. Okay, alright. That actually did not help at all, but let's see. Also, it's a near server restart, so people will log in. You think that's lagging the server a bit? Anyway, again, if you want a more in-depth look at Dragon Slayer, go ahead and check out the end of the last VOD. But oh, you know what? He's not showing up here because I actually own him. Yomu. I think you'll want to see this character's more in-depth look in particular. Wanderer. Just briefly showing him off. That's all you get. Go ahead and check out the rest of the last VOD if you want to see more about Wanderer. You know what? I'll give you the weapon skill. Go ahead and check out the previous VOD. Alright, anyway, moving on to the next character. Next character on the list is... Oh, sorry, we're skipping... Whoa, we're skipping ahead quite a bit. Striker. Let me go to the previous page. I'm worried I might have missed a premium, because I've been skipping over the premiums during my practice sessions here. Since I can't show them off. No, okay. Nangin was the last character shown off. Alright, Striker. Melee character, rare. Here's the male portrait. Here's the female portrait. Pretty nice. It is just another fist fighter. You might shrug off and think like, oh, it's just another fist fighting character. Nah, give it a moment. This is actually a pretty badass character. And if you'll remember last time, I figured out a way to show off both genders in game. Hang on. We open up the style tab, and then I'll go ahead and borrow Striker. Here's what he looks like in game, the male model. And here's female. Whoops, sorry. And here's female. Sometimes male and female will have different like idle poses, not animations but poses, which I think is kind of interesting. But this is not one of those cases. All right, you're a melee character. 4-hit basics. 4th hit launches, and you can loop this more than once. It will lift the character enough to get a full second string in. You are a melee character. You have a timed block. You know, basically pretty bog standard there. You're a bit slow. Probably would benefit from some movement speed. I don't know. This feels slow to me in particular. Your dash attack is really cool. It'll set you up for your nice jump combo. So we'll just go ahead and go into that. Your dasher will immediately kind of launch you, put you both the enemy airborne. And you get... Normally it's only a 3-hitter if you're not hitting anybody. But if you're actually hitting a target, it's a 7-hitter jump attack. Right? But that's not it. You also have an air hold D. It's a little tricky to land on Dev K. Hang on. Striker is a lot more comfortable now, as you can S-hold midair. Oh, hang on. My apologies. I thought I had that on repeat. Oh my goodness. I swear I had this down earlier. Hmm? You know what? I am just... We'll just stick with the Lost Saga Lo-Fi. I'm closing everything else. Sorry, folks. I'm half tempted to even close my chat, but then I won't be able to see what y'all are saying. Okay, I'll also go ahead and do this. I've done what I could. Let's hope it's better now. Div K being a short problem. You know what? Yeah, honestly, you're not wrong. Let's bring out our cyborg buddy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Air hold D. As you can see, when you land the air hold D, I'll just do it on him normally. It's this little string that ends in a slam down that does ground bounce. I'll try landing it on Div K again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had that timed wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Air hold D. And there are a couple of follow-ups. You can get a few basic string hits off of that, but what you're actually going to want to do is your standing hold D. It burns 100 of your 200-meter passive. You rush forward. If you actually hit somebody with it, it launches them. Both hits of this are jump cancelable if you land them. I don't know if it's jump cancelable if it's blocked. I just can't test that by myself. But it launches them enough without any air decay so that you can land another air hold D, which I'll go ahead and try to show off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. Air hold D. Standing hold D. Jump cancel. Air hold D. Would have been nice if that landed. You know what, Cyborg? You're getting wailed on, buddy. Let me vent my frustrations out on you. My frustrations at the game just not running right. There we go. And then you can land. In my practice, I've had most landed 2 extra hits after that. But as you can see, dude, that's a crazy long combo for only half your meter. And that's not that hard to do. I know I fucked up a number of times, but boy can blame lag there, alright? You've seen how the game's been stuttering. That's not a cope, that's some lag. Let's see. Let's get Cyborg out of here. Go back to Teen Titans, bro. Other properties, well... I I think that's kind of it. I want to say, without going into skill usage, which we'll go into next, that's about as long of a combo as you can get. Which, I mean, that's still pretty damn badass looking. You can burn all of your gauge for a maximum combo. I've been able to extend it further using the weapon skill, but more on that in a moment. With a specific trinket, you can repeat it up to 5 times. Damn, dude. Also, here's your counterattack. Unique animation. I haven't seen that one yet. You dash through the opponent and hit them from behind. It knocks them down, so there's no, like, combo potentiality afterwards. But it's still pretty cool. I will admit, with how slow of a transition that is for you to, like, warp behind them, I'm almost positive the opponent can turn around and hit you during it, so maybe be a little sparing with your counterattacks. All right, we'll go ahead and show off the skills now. From left to right, trinket skill. It's one of those timing-based ones, except it's very short. Normally, they let you hold on these. However, with this one, if you miss your timing, then the skill just ends. If you don't do the timing right, you'll home in on the target, kick 3 times, and launch them. This should hit grounded. Yep, even if you don't time it, it'll hit grounded, but you're gonna want to time this. So hit it when the marker is like lined in with the... hang on. You see what I mean, right? Time it properly with the pulses, and you do 10 kicks instead. Counter used to have guard break. It's funny to bait people into edges. Oh my god, the counter used to guard break? That explains why it's so slow. A holdover of it used to having a guard break function to it. Jesus. This is really cool, and as you saw just now, you can actually use it in the air. Very perfectly setting you up for another air holdy. Like, it's a good trinket. Like, normally you'll want to replace some skills, because most of the skill, like, at least 1 or 2 of the gears is going to be mid, or even worse, bad on a character. But nah, I think all of Striker's skills are badass. Speaking of which, going onto your helmet, you become intangible for a little bit. As the meter, you can see it, like, ticking down on the icon, goes down. You'll eventually run out, and then you're hittable again. However, during this, you can hit up to 4 times, and it will hard stun. Attacking will then extend your range. There's a max range to it, right? But attacking will extend that. I remember this being much... The hitbox feels much shorter than I remember. Yeah, it feels much more precise now. I swear the whole, like, slam part of that used to do that. That's kind of it. I want to say it will lift grounded. No, it'll very funnily, it'll actually keep grounded, kind of like tremor status. All right. Your armor skill is pretty badass, and I'm actually going to show this off in a crowd. The helmet used to last way longer. It was nerfed, obviously. Also, careful when using it near edges. Oh, are you telling me this is possible? Yep. All right, be careful when using it near edges. Oh my god, yes! Thank you, Box. I was going to comment on how I remember this skill lasting 8 hits instead of 4. However, that must be a low HP mechanic. Let's see. Let me get a little bit more damage on myself here. Hopefully this doesn't kill. It does not. So I should have 8 hits now. Yep, that doubles the amount of uses you have. However, I guess the tell here is the aura around you. Okay. For the armor skill, I'm going to show you what this is like in a crowd. You spin kick around a bunch, and it does a lot of hits. Guard breaks pulls people in, and obviously you can see how good it is in a crowd. Enough to lag my whole PC. Okay, let's get rid of the crowd here. So, I've already explained how the game works, but when you're completely out of HP, the next 4 hits you take will strip a piece of gear. I think it's trinket, helmet, armor, weapon. And then when you get hit again without any gear on whatsoever, you either die or get tied up if it's prisoner mode. This hits 10 times. So if someone's near low HP, that's gonna probably completely kill him off. Striker was rumored to have a low HP mechanic that increases the amount of hits it does, but sadly it's a hoax. Ow. I mean, this cool aura, I wonder if that's just showing for the helmet skill. Either way, I remember this being so much better. I'm right on him and it's not hitting him. Either way, armor's amazing. If anything, helmet's a little middling. Once in a while, it'll shoot the target upward like that. I don't think that's preferable. It's a little awkward. It depends on positioning, I think. Yeah, that's just weird. It's supposed to... I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to put them in that status. It's supposed to slam them down. And then maybe you could combo off of that kind of thing. Weapon skill. So, you will launch the target, you keep tapping your D key, and then it does like a guard-breaking, fire status inflicting version of your air hold D. By the way, you could use this to extend your combo. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I jump canceled a bit earlier there. I could have maybe gotten in one more air hold D after that. Bro, that was an insanely long combo, and it looks really cool. However, this is... Oh, that weapon skill is really hard to land for some reason, even with good internet. Well, thank you for mentioning that, Noka, because unfortunately, despite how badass of a character Striker is, I'm going to have a little trouble recognizing where we are right now. Striker. I think the most I could give it is maybe a B or an A. I want to give it an S, but it's lag sensitive. The dasher and the air hold D just don't work the way they're supposed to most of the time. And in fact, I'd meant to pull this up earlier. Let's go ahead and pull up YouTube, and I'll specifically look up some Takuyasugi gameplay for Striker, because you're just going to see how often it whiffs, or how he has to like shorten the combo to make sure it actually does combo. Takuyasugi Lost Saga. Why is the Swordsman Bayek combo the first thing that pops up? Okay, Striker. I remember Takuya really liking this character. Yeah, here's some Striker gameplay from Jesus 11 years ago. Here's a little bit of supplemental material. Hopefully, he'll showcase just the lag sensitiveness of it.
On North America's version of Lost Saga. Striker, expect some lag sensitivity on the EA server. It is very, very lag sensitive.
Yes.
However, you can get around that by shortening your combo significantly.
I did not watch this earlier. You're not going to believe me, but I did not watch this video earlier. I knew it in my soul he was going to say that, because I also wanted Striker to work real bad. When the character came out, I bought it the night of release. I refunded it the next day, because you just could not get the long, cool combos. But just like he just said, you could shorten it to ensure you'll get...
Into your whole D. You can now only do 1 or 2 hits
exactly
in order to get your whole D. Or it's better to usually go straight into your whole D, even though 1 kind of helps.
Did you see that Windrunner?
Set it
Homeboy ate Dookie. Hang on. Homeboy ate shit. He does his jump attack. Assuming, I guess, he's lined up with Takuya. Homeboy, where are you at? You're in hell.
Kind of helps
Jesus.
Set it straight a lot of times.
Also, I'm peeking. Let me lower my mic. Sorry.
Oh, missed.
Okay, let's see what he does here. He's against the Hazama.
Here. Getting hit in the back a lot. Why isn't anyone hitting Daisy in the back there? Daze, pardon me. Or is it Daisy? I think it's Daisy, isn't it? Yeah, it should be. Let's go ahead and Striker armor.
Striker armor.
Yeah, I will be using the Hakumen as my Striker mules.
Okay, alright, that's enough. Thank you, Takuya. If you can get it to work, it's great, but because its combo can hardly be interrupted, but yeah, it has Fist Hero Syndrome and lag sensitivity. Wait, I find... was that it only counts when... Oh, what I find is that it only counts when you hit them in the initial startup, but will not proc if you hit them too late. He tried to predict where the body goes, and he chose wrong.
Pull down Violet time.
All right. Either way, I am sorry, Striker. I think the fact, like, I can't put him in B. I can't put him in S. I desperately want to put him in S. I think he should be B rank, but he's just so cool looking. If he worked in NA, I would give him an S. Best I can do ya is an A, Striker. By the way, this is one of the few times that I refunded a hero. Z8 games would allow you to refund up to 3 purchases throughout your account lifetime. This is one of the few times where I was so disappointed by the lag sensitivity that I just straight up refunded him, so I didn't have him on my account anymore. Alright, moving on. I've returned from VOD watching. Welcome back, Yomu. You came back just in time, because the next character on the list is Don Quixote. Not that Don Quixote, obviously. This predates Limbus by like a decade and a half, so. Fist Hero Syndrome is hero has short range and grounded, which is bad in a meta where everyone flies. Well, unfortunately, that's a lot of characters, ain't it? Give me just a moment. We'll get some music. Actually, where's some... Give me the whole Blue Archive OST before we move on here. Well, hang on. Limbus Company OST? Can I get, like, the Intervallo theme? Can I get Hell's Chicken? It's a boss theme. Hell's Chicken? Yeah! Okay, alright. On to the next character. As I mentioned, Don Quixote, normal character, so you can just unlock this character by getting a high enough rank. Here's the male portrait, here's the female portrait, and... I don't know everything about this character, but I think I know enough. By the way, I'll go ahead and open this up, and we'll tab over here. Don Quixote. Here's the male model. And, more importantly, I tried to style her after Don Quixote the best I could, but here you go, Zoomers. It's Don Quixote. You could gear design the weapon and have the text on it, change up the texture, everything. And I'm almost positive there's some armor to make an actually good Don Quixote cosplay, but that's the best you'll get out of me. There's like 3 hero that doesn't have that syndrome, and all of them, or most is A tier, damn. Alright, so this is a normal character, melee character, time to block, can run, you know, pretty standard in that regard. Your weapon's a lance. It's notably a goofily bent lance. I actually appreciate that. The character itself is incredibly goofy. I'll see if I can show off the taunt before we swap off, because it is also goofy. Alright. 3-hit basics. Your 3rd hit will launch. You can jump cancel the 3rd hit. If you land the jump attack... Sorry. It does a nice ground slam. In the air, your jump attack does the ground bounce regardless. It's not really one that you can capitalize off of too well, but you also have an air hold D, which is also goofy ah. You just face plant face first. It will hit grounded though, which is a nice aspect of it. Might even be able to land 2 of those if you're quick enough. You have an air dasher. It looks like it should feint. Like it looks like a D'Artagnan, or actually I'm not sure D'Artagnan, like a medic air D. Like you should be able to get a feint off of that, but instead it knocks back. It knocks back pretty far, as you can see there. Combo-wise, there's not a whole lot because it's more of a gimmick character. That's not to say that it's bad though. So, and before I forget, you can loop the basic string more than once, but the second time you land it, it will knock them back too far to get a jump cancel off of that, as you can see there. But you jump cancel, and then after landing your air D, you do an air dasher, and it sends them back pretty far. And then you could probably follow up with jumping air hold D, Or your second hit of your dasher, your 2-hit dasher, by the way, will hit grounded. I remember people being able to combo off of this. But it doesn't seem to launch far enough anymore. You can feint with the jump, hold D, and a fast air dash, really. It's a little awkward to do in lag, maybe, but I'll give that a try. Yeah, I could see the line where that's possible. I'm just not quick enough here. It's not vice versa, right? That felt pretty good. I'm sure with enough practice you can get it down. Let me see. Dawn hasn't changed much. There's some techs that require fast hands. Otherwise, it's your old, reliable Delusional Knight. Combo is dash attack into basic attack, into jump cancel, into air dash, into dash attack. Last ground hit. If you're fast with your hand, you can feint people with the combination of air, D-hold, into air dasher only if you're fast enough. Okay. Yeah, that's asking for a lot. I'm gonna blame the fact that this is the Indonesian server and I'm playing from North America that I'm having trouble with that. You gotta be real quick. Either way, the ability to feint, even if it is like a very technical one, is quite nice. By the way, you're blocking with your head. Just a goofy character in every regard, and would make the perfect Limbus Don Quixote cosplay, just saying. Okay, I think that's about it for the character, except there's a hold D. So you hold D and you start charging up your horsey here. You can... Oh, I thought you could jump cancel it, but no, I think you can dash cancel it. No, but you can... I guess you can't. Well, so this charges up to 100 meter. The more you charge, the faster it goes. If you hit somebody with it, you'll grab them and bring them along with you. It only does it the first time for me. I'm not sure if that's a change they made over time or just HQ weirdness. But if you can pull them into a wall, it will hard stun them briefly. It looks so brief that I'm not even sure what the proper follow-up is after that. Let's see. A lot of people built dexterity on this hero for obvious reasons. Yes, honestly, you don't have a whole lot combo-wise. I think it's a short combo, but it's a fun one, and you have a jump cancel. That's a bonus. The main thing with this character is just being annoying. By the way, I think if you land on somebody, you pancake them. It's a little hard to do when you do the full charge. With the minimum charge, you go much slower, obviously. But you'll pancake them otherwise, and you might be able to cancel early and then get like a dasher, like the ground hitting part of your dasher. Let me see. Or an air hold D? Nah. Maybe if you're quick enough, but I got many layers of lag, both PC-wise and connectivity-wise. That's kind of it for the character, though. Again, like, your main gimmick was this. And in fact, some of your skills sort of add on to that. More on that in just a moment as we go on to the skills here. No counterattack, but I think you do have a deflect, which I don't think I need to show off here. Skills from left to right. Your trinket is this little rapier, little mini lance. It is a guard-breaking, hard-stunning stab that, when used on an airborne target, will restand them with the hard stun. By the way, you may have noticed, the more observant of you, you actually get 2 uses of it per use of your trinket. It has a long cooldown of 30 seconds, but, I mean, the restanding on airborne opponents, you could slap this trinket on many characters, and I think they would get a lot of use out of it. Just came back. Where are we in Head Chicken Dimension? Urge. It's because I'm showcasing Don Quixote. So of course I want to pull up the Limbus music. Anyway, so 2 uses of this. As you saw, it'll like restand airborne targets. Pretty nice. Let me see. And then your helmet skill, Sancho, your buddy Sancho shows up and gives you a buff that lets you run on the air. On the character that very annoyingly grabs people with their horsey and flies them hella far away. This might be awkward. Yeah, okay. I can't do that there because that counts as a wall, apparently. You're coming with me, DevK. Where the dimension breaks. It doesn't last as long as I remember it lasting, as you can see here. That's about it. As you can probably tell, it's also a movement speed buff. Only applies to you. Doesn't give it to your teammates or anything. The proper way to utilize the D-hold is to hit a wall so they slam into it and fall into the void while you're safe. Ah, you mean like this. Or rather, you mean like that. I guess the hard stun you can't really work off of otherwise. Either way, that's it for the helmet skill. It's a speed buff. You can walk off ledges and be extra annoying. I would probably replace it with something else though. Your armor skill, you charge up a stab and then the target runs in a random direction. It's not very good because it's not reliable. You can tap it early. I don't think that changes anything. So, it is what it is. Slap a horse head on him. It's kind of funny, I guess. I mean, if there is one saving grace of it, or like little bonus thing on top, is it does hit grounded. Obviously, your trinket does not hit grounded, but your armor will. Which is quite funny that the Dawn Helm was also... Hello? Amber alert. Sorry about that. Which is quite funny that Dawn Helm was the current longest buff that lets you walk off a ledge. What is it? Ghost Armor also lets you walk off the ledge, but that's a passive that needs charging. I'm not sure how they've nerfed it over the years. But I swear the helmet skill used to last much longer. If you charge the armor, it grants guard break. Oh, you mean it's not guard breakable if you quick tap it? Yeah, it's a bad armor. It looks nice though. Like, I would gear design this. This with like some different textures on it. Look pretty sick. And then your weapon skill is a guard breaking enhanced version of your horsey. Instead of traveling with you, they will run in whatever, like a... It feels like a random direction, but it's mostly in the direction that you're running, I think. Except that one. That one went in the exact opposite direction. Either way, you can actually use the weapon skill... Oh, oops. Sorry. I forgot we were on Dawn. Just a moment. By the way, I had to spend like 4 chests worth of pesos to make her look like Dawn. I hope you Zoomers are grateful. Okay. I would like to showcase that in a team. Or well, not a team, but like on a crowd. So here's your hold D. You can go into the weapon skill version. It's just pure chaos in a team fight. Weapon skill is good because it has a huge hitbox. It's a good panic button. Better than Flash. Anyway, there's a lot of things in this game that are better than Flash. Either way, that's enough funny chicken music. Thank you. Just a moment. We'll go with... Jam Project? Nah, probably not. I don't have a playlist up. We'll just go to the regular Lost Saga playlist. I'll have this loading in the background. As we move on, where do we put Dawn in all of this? Well, I am going to put Don Quixote, if I can find Don Quixote. I just need to find where we left off last time. Here. I'm going to put Dawn in an A. I don't think it's an S tier thing. Oh, sorry, I missed that. We have Don Quixote, the book version. Kind of, like the original version, yeah. We'll put him in A. Like, very annoying character. I wouldn't put them in B. I wouldn't put them in S. We'll put them in A. Okay. Moving on to the next character. Let's see. This is one that I'm going to have to pull up a video for anyway, so let's go ahead and do that. This is Dragon's Nest Assassin, or DN Assassin. This is a character from another MMO called Dragon's Nest. It's like a very action-y game. I always wanted to play it, but I never got a character past like level 20. If it's still around, I would like to play it again someday. Maybe even on stream, because it's a cool looking game. It's just, I think it's one of those like greedier ones. Either way, let's go ahead and check it out on Takayasugi's channel. We never got this one on NA. I don't even know if they got it on in the Indonesian server. Assassin. There's a number of characters that might show up here, but DN Assassin here. It's an A tier for me because people don't expect someone would actually attack with this hero.
Hey guys, here with a
Also,
new
one of the
character
few
on
heroes that has a funny attack animation, yes.
Korean Lost Saga. This is known as Assassin. It's a premium character based off the character from Dragon's Nest. So
This is the second and only other Dragon's Nest character we got.
So 4-hit bases.
We got Kali, which we showed off last
4th hit
time,
stuns,
and DN Assassin. It's
It's
weird that we got. It's weird that we got Kali, but we didn't get Assassin, which is disappointing because the armor skill is really, really, really good. Well, not the armor skill, but the armor is really good to gear design.
So pretty average, pretty average.
There's a
Your whole
Dragon's
D, you
Nest
throw out a little
Global
explosion,
and Classic,
and
so
this
yeah, you can play it.
opens up a new,
It's official too.
D combo chain. So if you mash
You did
it
have
after
Assassin in
pressing the whole D,
Indonesia.
you get this
You're
big
lucky.
combo, and it does hit grounded as well. So pretty nice.
That's
chip damage.
badass.
Potentially edge with that very
I
easily
love
as well.
attacks that
So
have
let's
your
go into the
character
little,
spin like that.
You get this big combo, and it does hit grounded as well. So
I
pretty
love
nice,
attacks that have you
chip
spin.
damage. You could potentially edge
Bonus
with
points
that
for
very
that.
easily as well.
We'll skip around a little
So
bit.
let's go into the little details about the whole D, because
Well,
it does have a few
let's hear 'em
details
out.
about it that need
Tell us
explaining.
about the details,
The whole
Takuya.
D, the first part, you don't have to mash this. You can do different things without mashing it. The first part does a half feint, so you can do your jump attack and do your whole D and get an
Ooh,
easy,
I
easy
love
feint off that. So
an
pretty
easy
nice
feint
there.
like that.
Your follow-ups, let's go by these one step by step here. So after the first whole D, you get a little nice pull in that has good range with it.
That
mini
has
pull-in.
really good range.
After that hit,
No meter, by the way,
third
so
hit,
that's
you
just
get a
free.
nice little overhead hit that does a little mini stun that probably guarantees a few follow-ups. And after that is where things get a little bit tricky. After the stun hit, you can press the key once, and you'll do a little pop-up. Your D key once, and you'll do a little pop-up. If you press it twice after that hit, you'll get a little feint, as you can see there. So it's a little bit complicated to explain, guys. And if you press it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, you'll get a nice long stun. I know it looks like 4 hits,
A long hard stun. Huh.
but I'm only pressing it 3 times.
By the way,
And of course, if you mash it, you're just gonna get a
I'm not
nice
sure what
little
song is playing. This is from
big
Takuya's
knockback
video.
off of it,
I'll check
so
the description to see if he has it there.
Depending on how many times you press the button. So
Let's skip ahead a
dash.
little bit.
D dasher, and this thing
Whoa.
rushes forward a pretty long distance here. And if you connect with someone, you'll do a little jump up and explosion on them,
Cool.
popping them
Fun
up,
fact,
and allowing
Assassin used to have an
yourself some
infinite with the D hold
air
alone.
juggle
by intention of
opportunities.
avoiding the
That's
second
pretty
part
nice
of the
there,
D
and you can
hold.
link
I
your
see.
whole D into your initial attacks, your regular 3-hit combo. So if you do like your second hit and go into a whole D, you can guarantee that whole D follow up there.
Okay.
Not sure how it works with blocking. Let me go ahead and try that out here.
So he would freeze targets to see if it would
apply
guard
the
break.
effect on blocking. So yeah, if someone blocks, I'm assuming you don't get the
Okay.
pop up. So
Oh,
since it
officer, I
doesn't
swear
work,
those
it's
windmills were
some
giants.
interesting there, interesting. So moving on, jump
Okay.
attack. So your regular jump attack is pretty simple.
I just want to know if you have a spin in the air.
Oh,
It's been long enough that, I mean, it's dead and buried. I will admit, I actually have a recording somewhere where I got to try out this character on the NA server. I don't remember who it was, but there was a hacker account that randomly decided to join my HQ one day and let me try out a bunch of stuff before it came out, including some stuff that we never got ever. There was a Japanese Lost Saga exclusive Supersonico version of Rockstar. Supersonico is like the mascot character for Nitro Plus, a company that makes visual novels. Like pretty fucked up visual novels at that. Anyway, we never got that, which sucks because it was actually like a real... I'll see if I can pull it up later, maybe. It's not important. It basically played the same, except it had a different helmet skill, I think. Either way, I have a recording somewhere where I got to try out all of this stuff.
out, so you can't do it very, very
The game's
close to the
dead,
ground.
alright,
Does
look, you can't ban
have
me.
okay
And
range,
I wasn't
but
even
it's
the
not
one
just as
hacking, alright?
effective-ish,
It was
I
a guy
would
just
say.
spawning
This is
stuff
like
in
a
my
Justice
HQ.
Defender, jump attack, in my opinion. But again, you can use your whole D off this attack to get an easy feint, so that's pretty nice there. And your whole D air attack
I like that.
is pretty much...
Alright. I already know where it's going.
spinning
That's an
chain
S right there,
thing
baby.
Attack. It does hit grounded, and it does knock back.
I can tell you right now,
pretty
I
good
would
on
use
ground as
that
well,
attack
so
way too
pretty
much.
Nice here. You can spam this air attack really, really nicely.
Because
Let's
it
see if
looks
hits
really
front and
cool.
back. It doesn't seem to hit front and back. Maybe I'm kind of, yeah, not front and back, so it only hits forward. So
It looks like it should
it would have
cross
been
up,
pretty OP if it would've hit
unfortunately.
front and back. So yeah, that's a pretty nice thing there. So let's go ahead and check out the defensive capabilities on Assassin.
We'll see if he has a counter, and then I'll move on to skills, and we'll
See how they're
move on to
doing
the
that
next
here.
hero.
Dwarf. Let's pick on some dwarfs. So your
Oh, it does have a counter.
attack. You have a counter attack on Assassin. It's pretty simple and straightforward. You knock someone back and pop yourself up into the air. So
You can do your air
I'm
hold D
assuming
afterwards.
You would probably go into your hold D off this, even
Yeah.
though it kind of gets a little bit crooked at times. But it's a pretty average counterattack. It does keep you relatively safe.
It looks like it has a slow startup.
I don't get the
Whoa,
poison
whoa,
status. Weapon skill. Weapon skill, you throw out a little circle, it stuns someone, and you have an option to follow this up with a bunch of D-mashing, and this triggers in the air as well, so I don't believe you get the stun version in the air.
It almost reminds me of Dragon Slayer weapon skill, but it has poison tick.
While you throw this out, they get the poison status. Otherwise, I don't believe they get the poison status outside of it. Let me go and check that here. Let me throw this down. You can aim the attacks themselves without actually hitting the circle. So yeah, it doesn't seem like he gets poison if he's not in. Double check that he's stunned.
Oh, even though this character never came out on NA, I did have the armor, not from hacking or anything, but they sold the gear. They sold the gear of the premiums we never got, which was some consolation, but I would have rather had the characters. Z8 Games, Valife.
Armor skill. Armor skill is like a...
Yeah, so I had that. It's not that good. It doesn't even do fall damage.
Around you, and it brings
But
in these little orbs.
not to be that guy. Well, who am I kidding? I am that guy. If you know my art, you know my art. I draw big ol' anime titties. It's one of the non-flat gears in the game.
I'm not sure if
On
there's
Fem,
anything
it
else
actually
special
has a
for that.
chest. Everything else
It
is
does hit
flat as a
lot of
fucking
people in
board.
the crowd really
Anyway.
nicely, so a little bit demon thiefish, but demon thiefish.
I see the
So yeah,
demon
really
thief in it.
interesting looking
Just
there, really cool looking.
it's
Seems
not that good, man. It's not even fall damage, bro. Tau Warrior has that beat, and Tau Warrior armor skill is from like 10 years before this. Anyway, where do we put Dragon's Nest Assassin? I'm gonna put him on A just for the style. I love attacks like that, and that's right up my alley. Let me go ahead and find some music here. And Urge asked what the song was. Let me see if it's in the... it's not in the description, sorry. Music... no, they don't say what it is. Wait, BGM? Nah, sorry, Urge. It inflicts burn, though. I guess. I don't know, bro. It's a little middling as far as armor skills are concerned. We'll do Pseudo Regalia. Okay, next character on the list is one that I can show off, and is one that I played a lot, but I'm definitely going to be very rusty. Here is Thunderbird. So you've probably seen me, because I actually do have this character in-game, so whenever I'm selecting my character, you may have noticed the giant duck. Yes, I didn't say that incorrectly. You're not missing much by Fem. It's just pink. Not sure what they were going for. I guess like a mascot, like a water park mascot or something. But it's a melee character. It's like a melee ranged hybrid in a way. I'll show you. I don't actually need to borrow the character since I own it. And since I own it, I can show off the taunt freely. For a brief second, you actually see your character's bones, which is kind of interesting. So, 2-hit basics. Second hit feints. You will pick up off of your feint and then slam. It does this quick get up status on the opponent. I don't remember that being a thing, so it's probably a nerf since then. I've tried some of the characters that I used to play, and they don't play the way I remember them, so it probably has been changed. It's an alien. Thunderbird is an alien. Oh my god, I forgot that Thunderbird is an alien in the canon. Thank you. I forgot about that, actually. That was just some DuckTales mascot. But I see the zipper! By the way, it's because of this armor that my character Mimic came to be, if you've ever seen me draw my character Mimic. I don't have the screenshots on hand, but on a future stream I'll go ahead and gather together all of my characters that ended up becoming characters outside of Lost Saga, and some art of them, and we'll have a little story time, and I'll have more to say about it then. But anyway, you have a one-hit dasher. By the way, you're a melee character, run, no dash or anything like that. And you also have a hold D dasher, where you slide, and it does hit grounded. And it also perfectly sets you up for your jump attacks, which is a very long, like, 6-hit string in the air. You can time this in such a way to, like, carry the opponent, or at least you used to be able to. There was a couple Thunderbird mains on NA. Mine was, like, around level 40, so I used her a decent amount, but not as much as, like, a Fencer or something. And then the slide, rather the hold D dasher does hit grounded as well. The only nerf, the hold D charge requirement, need to fill it all the way. Yes, moving on to that. You do have a hold D. You start filling up your water gun, or rather pumping your water gun. Before, as soon as you let go, you would have that much meter in water, in ammo. Unfortunately, now you have to charge it up all the way. So once you have it charged up all the way now, your water gun will glow. Let's say that 10 times fast. Pressing your attack key will fire out a bubble. It keeps the opponent trapped. Uses 25 of your meter. I think even that uses more than it used to. I remember getting more bubbles out than that. If you hold D, you send out a stream of water, and if you hit a bubbled opponent, it will knock them back a little bit. I remember that launching much further. By the way, if you just hit them with the water, it doesn't do damage, but it's many, many hits, and it's hard to block. Oh, and if you hit them enough, it bubbles them. I forgot about that. You can also tap block to end your water gun form early. If you melee someone while they're bubbled, you're basically going to guarantee the fainting part, or the second hit of your basic string, because it shocks them and they can't recover out of that without, like, a recovery skill. Setting you up for your air combo. Maybe setting you up for your dasher at the end. The dasher does kind of knock back on grounded. It's a little tricky to aim. What do you mean? Wait, hang on. My inner Deltarune fan is tingling? Is there a duck in Deltarune? Okay, either way. Moving on. You also have a shot in the air. Maybe going to be kind of hard to land here on DevK. There we go. And you also have a water pulse in the air. I feel like it's harder to work with the gun form since you have to charge it up all the way to 100 now, unfortunately. Let's see. Combo is basic attack, first hit, basic attack into air attack. Basic attack, first hit, basic attack into air attack. Combo is small because the hero has insane damage if built correctly. Really? Okay. The problem with that is that DevK is real short. Let's get our cyborg buddy over here. Maybe even one of our robot buddies as well. Yeah, I find it a little easier to get the full combo off of the dasher. There we go. I used to have Platinum the Trinity helmet skill on this character. You blow a bubble, you can use it in the air, and then they get trapped in the bubble. You could perfectly, like, hit them with your air combo again another time while they're trapped in the bubble. And then when they land, probably hold the dasher on the ground. Dash attack can be cancelled in case it gets blocked. Huh. Yeah, you can cancel the dasher. And also, the light D dasher into a jump attack just knocks down. I remember that as well. So, I have a funny glitch to show off with this, but let's go ahead and go on to the skills first. And this won't affect the rating or anything, this glitch, but you might find this interesting. I feel like I'm the only person that knows about this glitch. Anyway, that's it for the character. It's like a melee ranged hybrid, and it was way better when you could charge the water gun at any point. It certainly is a nerf that you can't do that anymore, unfortunately. You could be way more annoying with the water gun form back then as well. This hero gets stupid strong when it uses Fedora Helm. You're talking about the Mega Agent Helmet, which gives you a Priest style. The Priest is in the Premium Hero style. Well, the now gone and dead Premium Hero, unfortunately. Air Dasher. I could see that. I rocked Platinum the Trinity Helmet. Was it meta? By no means whatsoever. But it fit thematically. Okay, skills from left to right. I'm going to show this off in a crowd. Trinket was, or rather the tail, was one of my favorite skills in the game. You summon a lightning cloud, it'll home in on targets and fire lightning at them. It's been nerfed because after you get hit 5 or 6 times, you become immune to electricity for a little while. You didn't get immune to electricity back when this trinket first came out. Either way, it's still pretty decent because, I mean, it's blockable. By the way, the lightning's blockable, but it's still very annoying, especially like, oh, you're blocking my lightning, are you? Well, let me just swap to a character with a guard break. Bam. That's more like a area denial, like, annoying kind of skill. But still, like, absolutely one of my favorites. Like, I would still use this, like, even in today meta, if if our server wasn't dead. Either way, let's get rid of all these crowds. Also, Priest exists in game in this server as a reskin called Apostor now. It's the hero for bounce combos, so of course they want it back. Really? I have not seen that one. Okay. Either way, moving on. Helmet skill. You will start running. If you mash, you go by faster. You hit a lot of times when you dash into somebody. I probably shouldn't, but let's see what this looks like in a crowd. In advance, go ahead and type F's in chat for my PC. Ah! See that one more time? Jesus Christ. Just like the trinket, it also does the, like, shock resistant or electricity resistant bubble after a while. And then armor skill, I actually got a lot of use out of, and you might find that a little silly, but I'll show you more. I'll show you why in just a moment. So armor skill, you enter this little stance. While you're in this, you can walk and jump, but you're like slowed and doing like this funny little goofy walk. If you tap your D key, you'll fire out a quick lightning bolt. It will do the shock resistant shield after a while, but you can hit a bunch of times with it. However, it's not guard breaking unless you charge it. If you charge it, the stun lasts longer, and it should guard break, I'm pretty sure anyway. Like, it's been like 15 years, okay? It hasn't been that long, but it's been a long time. Like at least 6 or 7. So, the reason I got a lot of use out of this is if I ever got caught off guard and I got knocked down. Can you hit me, please? Can you knock me down? Can you please knock me down? Thank you. It's a ground recovery. It's not an amazing ground recovery, but people don't expect you to walk up on them like this, you know? Armor's not guard break? I swear the charge version guard broke. Either that's something that changed back in the day, or I'm remembering wrong. Again, it's been a long time, so who's to say? There is a running joke in Deltarune where there is usually some point where you can customize some sort of thingamajig, and a common feature is duck parts that are literally just joke items. And they are consistently completely useless and are always described with some variants of, this part sucks. Oh. Okay. The helmet used to not have a speed limit, so it gets crazy fast when it hits multiple people. Okay, well, even that's still pretty fast, but I guess it used to go even faster. So the armor skill is a recovery, and the weapon skill is actually decent. You fire out a volley of water balloons. If you actually hit somebody with it, they'll have like this slow debuff, I think, at least there's water around them. And then if you hold D afterwards, you'll shock them for like a decent amount of time. And yes, it does work pretty well in a crowd. Oops. I said it works pretty well in a crowd. Because it will shock them all, and that's a pretty long-lasting stun as far as fighting games are concerned. All right, thank you, crowd. I believe it will, like, push the opponent away, and then they might get hit by the blast afterward. Yeah. And then multiple water balloon explosions can hit them, as you saw there. That was a 6-hitter. You can instantly kill someone if you used with Kali in that weapon skill. Yeah, so you would put the Kali doll, swap over to this, and then if this hits a wall, it pops immediately. So imagine the opponent getting hit by all of those and their Kali clone being hit by all of those with the stun, with the shock. That's kind of gnarly. Okay, I promised you guys a funny glitch, and I will get you guys a funny glitch. Let me just find my Nephilim. Okay, I found Nephilim. So, you've probably seen me showcase this glitch before, but this is Nephilim. We're going to get to him probably next time. He throws down a hold D that increases his knockback and makes him bigger in this circle. But there's a way to retain the body type while you're in this. You swap to... That's not my Berserker. Where's my Savage Berserker? Berserker? Hello? If you see Berserker, please let me know. He's got a two-handed sword. I swear I had a Berserker. I don't know why he's suddenly a Grim Reaper. Alright. Now you know why they changed Kali, yes. Well, let me quickly get Berserker armor skill. You know what? I'll buy a timed one if I have to. You can't stop me, game. Okay. I want to show you this glitch. Trust me. There's literally a search bar. Look, there wasn't a search bar when I played the game before. I'm not used to it being there. Don't make fun of me. Either way. You know what? Sure, you'll do. Put that on. I forgot how not good the male epic Berserker armor was. I'm sorry about this Grim Reaper. Anyway, alright. Here's the funny glitch. You enter Nephilim. You wait until your character kind of like stutters for a second. Berserker armor, walk out, swap characters. You now permanently have the buff body type outside of Nephilim hold D. This is the only thing in the game that I think, maybe not counting Paladin helmet skill, that gives you this buff body. It looks really fucking goofy on some characters, as you can see here. But more importantly, the part of the glitch that I liked the most is that buff body translates differently for most female armors in the game. Anyway, that's not what I was talking about as far as funny things go. So, there's multiple parts to this glitch. Let me find my Smile Joker armor. Here we go. So, this shrinks you when you use it for a little while and gives you a speed boost. It does not normally shrink you this small. When you have that glitched buff body and you use size-altering things like this, I don't know how it would work on the Ant-Man clone hero, but it makes you really tiny. But while you're really, really, really tiny, your water balloons, the first one is massive, and then the rest will glitch and then glide along the floor and then eventually explode. That is not how that's supposed to work. Most big body bug hasn't been fixed. Yes. Much to my surprise, because I've known about this glitch for a long time. Either way, that's the bug. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that knew about this back on the NA server. I told a few people about the body glitch, just because, I mean, there's some phenomenal things going on here. But I don't know if people ever knew about that. Again, I'm sure there are other size-altering things in the game. Oh, you also get multiple, I think like a triple or quadruple jump in the air when you have this on. Very goofy looking. Oh, I think it would also look really weird with bear form. Hang on, this is maybe peeking a little too into the future, but I think your bear form gets really fucked up after doing this. Yeah, you get a mini bear. That is not supposed to be... The bear is not supposed to be Dev K size. And then there was all... You know what? I think... Will you give me just a moment? No, I don't have Steam open because I wanted to reduce the lag. On the Lost Saga Steam screenshot portion, there is a screenshot of my druid being gigantic, glitched, and having the bear-shaped body while being flesh-toned with armor. So another bug is Nephilim, and then transform out of the circle. And then it'll retain some things about your body, like your trinket and whatnot. And then if you get hit by, I think, mummy status, when you recover, there's a chance your character is going to be human, but with the weird oblongness of a bear. There's a screenshot in the Steam discussions called, like, what the fuck? And it's my druid, gigantic, eating up most of the screen, looking really glitchy. Anyway. I'm sure there's some things to learn about that. Like, it might even be cheesy to actually use that, like, maybe even, like, cheating to use that in certain ways, Noka. But I would just do it for fun in, like, plazas or farm rooms, Power Stone farm rooms. If you were there, you know. If you know, you know. Either way. Let's move on to the next character. Or rather, let's go ahead and rank Thunderbird. I did mention that I really like this character, and it's because I really do. That's an S. Unfortunately, after the nerf, I almost want to put him in A, but I have too many fond memories, and I just like the character too much to rank it any lower. I would like to show you a screenshot of what my Thunderbird looked like. If you'll give me just a moment. If it doesn't lag my PC, maybe it's not gonna. Ooh. Hang on, I will give it the one try. Lost Saga screenshot. Your tier list, your rules. Exactly. Thank you. I have 18,000 Lost Saga screenshots. No, I did not stutter. I am merely looking for my Thunderbird. Before the server closed down, I took screenshots of all of my characters, so I should have them right around here. My Shiranui, Infantryman. Oh, my Jin Sasinmu. Yikes. Yes, I did have one. Of course I did. Of course I did. There's like 50 screenshots of my priest. I hope I took screenshots of this one. Oh, here's what my Viking looked like, by the way. I think I wanted to show this off previously, but I kept forgetting. I really like the idea of her having a rocket-propelled axe. It does not look that way. That's how I wanted it. Look, in my head, that looked way cooler. Let's see if I can find my Thunderbird. I had a really nice, unique gear design for her. Found my Paladin. Found my Rockstar, Space Trooper. I should have had this on hand already. My apologies. I want to showcase how good my weapon skill or my weapon gear design looks. Okay. I've run across a problem though. Did I not screenshot my Thunderbird? I didn't screenshot my Thunderbird! Oh, Zex, what are you doing, bro? Oh, wait. Okay, I found her, but... Let me see if I can find a different screenshot. The day the game closed down, let's just say I did a couple gear designs that would have gotten me banned otherwise. Oh, no, okay, no, I found him. Rather her. I think. Okay, you know what? We'll save the screenshots for another one of these streams. I'll have them all ready. I found what I need to find, so we'll go ahead and set that up for later. Sorry about that. Can't believe you spend money to buy uniques on a dying game. Couldn't be me. Sarcastic. Homeboy, I probably sunk $1,000 over a decade into my account. Am I proud of it? No, I'm not. But I did. I love that game, and would I do it again? I don't really have money for that anymore, but maybe. Okay, that was Thunderbird. We're moving on to Alice. There's the male portrait, and here's the female portrait. You can already tell what they're going for. Alice in Wonderland, and you fight with a doll. That's your weapon. Your weapon's a doll, right? Okay, this character for me rivaled Robin Hood Evo for how fucking annoying it was, and Surfer for how annoying it was. But at the very least, this one had a limit to how annoying it could be at any given time. Surfer was just annoying for free. For free. Alright, Alice. Now, this one I don't remember too well, and in fact, let me reset my HQ because I did the body glitch, and that does kind of fuck with gravity sometimes and knockback, so let's go ahead and refresh real quick. It won't take too long. I guess the day rolled over. Thank you. Alice has a very long combo, like 40 plus hit, but only if you're good enough. People would not use her that way. Oh, I am online, by the way, if you need to showcase some stuff. Thank you, Box. I'll let you know. Oh, there's even an Easter egg in Chapter 5. I forgot if it applies to other appearances of the object customizing minigame, where if you use all duck parts, it straight up says, this outfit sucks ass. Wow. Well, look, Thunderbird's good. Alright, I put it in S rank. Okay, on to the next character. Oops. Where's Alice? There we go. Here's the male portrait. The game's in windowed mode, so I keep accidentally clicking out of it. Either way, here's the male portrait, or not portrait, but the in-game model. And I forgot to do the thing. Oh, here's the taunt, by the way. The music would sometimes glitch and keep playing constantly after the taunt ended, which was really annoying, and I never knew how to actually recreate that glitch. It would just happen sometimes. For some reason, the Femme Alice one is like all torn up. I don't know if that's a reference to like that one PS3 Alice in Wonderland game or what, but the male one isn't like that. All right. By the way, phenomenal looking. Your weapon is a doll. Your trinket's like a cat, and your hair is a ribbon. Good gears as far as like thematically, like in gear design potentiality go. However, onto the actual character. So I did not practice this one, but going off of memory, 3-hit basics. 3rd hit hard stuns. You do not pick up off of your feints. Your dasher might not. No, it's a 2-hit dasher that launches. Let's see what landing the basic string off of the launcher does. Not a whole lot. But it does lift them enough for you to get the full basic string out, at least. Let's see. You have a 3-hit jump attack that will bounce the enemy up. And you might be able to, like... Hang on, let's launch. So I practiced a lot of the characters we're going to play tonight. I skipped Alice and I skipped the next character up, and I kind of regret that. Maybe it's because DevK is short. Or maybe I'm bad. Cyborg, I'm begging you, buddy. Maybe it'll be easier to get off of the 3rd hit of the jumper. Yes, okay. It'll keep doing a bunch of hits, and then, oddly enough, does like a weird ground bounce. It seems to like basically just loop itself a couple of times. I got nothing to say about Alice other than gun form is useful on death time to keep you alive. Yes. Wait, gun form? I thought the weapon was a doll, bro. What do you mean? Okay, I'm just fucking rip off the bandage. You hold D with your 100-meter passive and you bust out a fucking minigun. This is really cool, but also very annoying. So your 3-hit basics now send out waves of bullets. And it's actually a 4-hit basic now. Obviously, you use your meter as ammo here. It looks like 5 per bullet. You can loop that once. Your dash attack is suddenly like this AoE, with the launcher still at the end of it. One thing I remember is you can kind of like... I used to like spamming the dasher, the hold D dasher, as like a weird mobility option. I don't think there's any utility to this. I just like the way it looked. So far that doesn't seem so bad, right? Oh, you know, it's kind of like a short-range minigun, all things considered. The jump attack is so annoying on this character with the gun mode out. Let's bust out a crowd here. And this is all people would do. Maybe a handful of people actually tried to learn the combos, but in team fights, if there was an Alice, this is all they were doing. And if they hit you with that... Oh, they would have rabbit ears on. Let me see if I have... Well, I guess I wouldn't be able to change the gear, but rabbit ears give you triple jump. Oh, wait, it also has a built-in triple jump, because if you hold... okay, I remember now. If you air hold D, it bounces you up. I guess... Or... Do you have a double jump? You have a double jump in the hold D form. So yeah, that feints, and then off of feint you can pick up with your basic string. Maybe let's not do this in a crowd. You can't swap characters while you have your gun out, so let's get rid of that. Feint status, and that does lift. I just fumbled it. And I'm out of ammo now. This hero died when Green Gundam released. A lot of heroes that fly or desperately needed to be swatted out of the sky died when that character released. We'll get to that one eventually, though. I just ran out of ammo, damn it. The doll maker of CTF 2-4, yes. I'm pretty sure... Hang on, let me try this. Landing the third hit of that string will launch... Yes, it'll lift the opponent off grounded, and then you can do your air D dasher, which you do have an air D... you do have an air dasher, which is probably part of the comboing. Whoops. I don't know how I swapped to Grim Reaper. Okay, let's get rid of all of that. This is a character that I did not play too much. I did have one, but I didn't play her all that much. It was one of those things where I felt like they're annoying to fight, so I don't want to be the annoying guy using her, right? Triple jump is you jump and then use the gun form. There you go. Okay, so you air D to bust out the gun, and then you have an extra jump after that. So, as if they weren't annoying enough already. I want to say the air dasher sets you up nicely for a combo with the minigun. I can't really showcase that because this is not a character that I am familiar with. Like, that looks like it should lift. In fact, we'll try that out on Cyborg. Maybe it's just a Dev K hitbox moment. Or maybe I'm just bad. You know what? Maybe I'm just bad. I think you have a counterattack, which we'll showcase with the robot buddies here. Is the ending lag on the air dasher really that bad? I remember people would spam that and then get the free follow-up afterwards. You're just bad. Alright, I'm just bad. That's kind of it. I'm almost positive there's some tricky shit you could do with this air dasher, but I did not practice this one. I guess that's much easier to land your air combo with. The air dash was nerfed, so yeah. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Box of Octopus said it earlier, but while you have this meter, or while you have your minigun out, it will act as a second health bar. You'll still take health damage, but if you're in death time and you would lose a gear, like a gear would strip due to taking damage, it'll instead eat your passive meter. Same with like Druid or Werewolf or not Dragon Rider, since that just innately has super armor. Other defensive capabilities, there might be a counterattack. Let's see. Yep, there's a counterattack. Oops. Oh, now you do your third hit basic string? Or third hit of your basic string? It looks like it's just a half feint. I thought there may have been a follow-up, but I didn't get it when I tapped. Moving on to skills. Stylish character. obviously. Even the male one looks stylish, but just... This is all they would do, man. It wasn't fun to fight against. Trinket skill is you tag somebody, they become a cat. They become like a Cheshire cat. It doesn't work on, like, transforming things like this don't work in HQ. But they'd be stuck unable to use their skills. I don't think it was very good. Counter is an easy setup for the air dash with the doll. Okay. Your helmet skill, I believe, just sends someone out. They're supposed to get caught in the teacup and then fly off in random directions. But it looks like that one also does not work in HQ. Nothing much to write home about there. And then armor skill is you... It looks like it sets her up very nicely for air combos. You aim your minigun down and then launch them, and that looks really good for air combos. Also air use. The armor did get buff. They lowered the spread. Ooh. And of course, it's grounded. That is not a bad armor skill. Most of her skills need actual players. Gotcha. Do you want to hop in? Oh, actually, no, I won't be able to. Never mind. I won't be able to because I'm in training mode, but thank you for the offer. And then weapon skill. You know how I've been saying she's annoying in team fights? Well, I should actually show a crowd first. She's pretty damn annoying in team fights, bro. Oh, it's a recovery? You know what? Armor's really good. Weapon skill's also really good, but damn annoying. No air use. I'm curious. So is it a ground recovery? Let's try on the robot buddies. Thank you. It is a ground recovery. Wow. Although it looked like it hit a little awkward there. That about wraps it up for Alice. Where do I put Alice? A lot of people used her. And yes, they were annoying with her. Just a moment. Accidentally full screened. There we go. I wouldn't go so far as to say Meta Slave. I wouldn't go so far as to say S. I think that's actually like another comfortable A. There's another hero whose dedicated purpose is to spin all the time. We'll get to that one more than likely next time. We'll put Alice in A. She's got some stuff, and apparently she has a really long combo if you're good with her. Practice makes perfect, obviously. I myself... yeah, we'll go with A. Alright, let's move on to the next character. Say hello to Lee. Not Bruce Lee. Just Lee. Here's the male portrait. Here's the femme portrait. It's very clearly, obviously what they were going for. I think Matt at one point on one of the previous streams mentioned Bruce Lee, and I was like, hold that thought for a future stream. Okay, this is a rare character, so you more than likely would have to pay for it. Okay, where is Bruce Lee? This is a character that I did not ever own, actually, so I'm going to need some help here, Box. I know you have a 3-meter passive. Also, let's show off the femme. Like, it's, like... That armor skill is one of the oldest ones in the game. Go ahead and do that. Oh, dude, we have so many gnarly rares coming up. Here's the taunt, by the way. It's very loud and very annoying. Some people would spam that shit. Okay, and here's Femme. Lee does not have a fist syndrome. No, a lot of people used Bruce Lee. A lot of people used Lee, bro. So you have 3-hit basics, or rather a 3-hit basic string. But every hit is a 2-hitter. So I tapped D 3 times there. But it hits Oh, it's actually a 4-hit string. Sorry. It hits twice. Except for at the end where it's like a kick that launches. Or rather knocks back. Like that. That alone is like really nice. Like the pressure on this guy was very scary. They lag the 3rd hit, so your block runs out. Let's see. So Lee's very basic and flexible hero. You can start with everything. Wow, okay. You have a 3-hit dasher, I think? Yeah. 4-hit dasher, actually. Also knocks back quite a bit. Do you have a hold D dasher? Yes, you have a hold D dasher. That uses part of your meter. Holding D seems to activate a stance. I don't remember what that does since I never played this one. I know for sure your air dasher is really annoying. You also have a 2-hit air combo. It's nothing to write home about. If you see fire status, by the way, that's just part of the passive on the helmet. That's not built into the kit. So your air dasher, you like kick downward, and then it has a follow-up. That right there, that will feint if it lands. So you already know, people were throwing that shit out all the time. I don't know what the combo after that is, because I don't think your basic string picks up off feint status. Ah, okay. Oh, and you could probably go into the air dasher again. Hang on. I'm starting to see a combo here. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm starting to see it. Yeah, I'm starting to see it. He got a recent buff to all his ground attacks to be able to jump cancel about all but the last hit. Really? Is that one not? Is that buff not live on the Indo server? Because you can cancel the last one, but not the first one. Let's see. Just like combo wise. The buff is Korea only. Okay. Wait, can I cancel that? Ah. Whoops. So I'm already kind of feeling combo potentiality here. Look. This is not to the extent of like Vampire, but a lot of people used Lee. Because I mean, this is pretty fucking strong, man. Vampire and Lee in Korea can jump cancel. What is going on in Korea? Hello? So what's like an ideal combo here? Like anything goes? Because can I do like 1-2 hold the air dasher? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 hold the... Oh my god! I don't even know what I'm doing and I'm comboing, bro. Jesus Christ! Basic attack, basic attack, basic attack. Into air dash. Okay, yeah, that most certainly works. Wow. This was another character that I wish I played, but I felt so slimy playing him because he was just that good. God damn. So what was that about the stance? I missed that earlier. D-hold is a stance that has 2 uses, the normal D, which is just a dash kick, and then the A version that costs 2 gauge and guard breaks and lifts grounded. Lifts grounded? Oh, the ground slam. Yeah. I remember that shit. Yeah. Okay. And then his basic string. Oh my god, this character. You can cancel air attack with the air hold with the hold D or air dash. No, just basic attack string 3 times in a row and end it with a dash attack. Oh. Hang on. I'm trying to get a dash. Oi!
Uta Kubo! Amazing!
Okay, I'm pretty bad.
Cool heat!
I swear to God, I'm inputting dash here. I mean, you could apparently just loop that again, by the way. I keep doing it accidentally.
Cool heat! Can combo!
I did not mean to do that, but sure. I mean, I'll take your word for it. I'm sure with practice I would pick up on it, obviously. I played this game a lot. Just this is not a character that I played personally. Wow. Is there anything we're missing? Just being able to pick up off grounded is insane. I will soon be off to go to New York, so see ya. All right, see ya, Yomu. Take care. Have fun. All right. Well, let's move on to the skills then. I don't remember the trinket. I remember it now. It's a counter. Let's get the robot buddies. All right, robot buddies. Counterattack, this fall damage. Pretty box standard. Oh, trinket is a ground recovery. Holy shit, it has a deflect counter? Is that right? That only works on deflect? I mean, that requires a lot of skill. I'm bad with deflects, personally. Wow. Okay. So helmet skill. It's a passive that charges over time. Your next hit while you're glowing like this will guard break. Or you could triple jump with that instead. It also is a ground recovery, I believe. I don't know how I'm going to showcase that. Because you lose meter as you get hit. Yeah, it's a ground recovery. Ground recover triple jump at that. Ground dash attack can be looped with hold D. Not sure if we'll connect properly, but it can be done. Well, that's not what I meant to do, but I mean, again, with practice, dude, wow, what a crazy character. Moving on to armor skill, this is one of the older gears in the game. You just punch a couple times and it faints. There is an evolution version that is faster and better. You also have an air use on this, which is just knockback. It might also have a ground recovery. Let's go ahead and see on the robot buddies here. Hit me, please. Hit me, please. Ogre, please. Ogre! Thank you. Yeah, okay, so it has a standing version, an air version, and it's a ground recovery. Not bad. Dash hold D. Oh, okay. Can be looped with the hold D. Huh. Well, I have seen enough to know where I'm gonna rank this. This one's insane. And if you're telling me this thing can dash, or not dash cancel, but jump cancel all of its basic string on the KR server, damn, dude. Damn. And weapon skill. I think you pull people in, and if you don't tap anything, nothing happens. No, it eventually does a knockback with hard stun. You can tap it early. Yeah. Any other properties? No, that's it. It should pull in grounded as well. Yep. Damn. Okay, I'm sure I could be here for another 10, 15 minutes trying out whatever combos come to mind, but we have some other characters to get to tonight. So, I mean, I hate fighting the character. I've always hated fighting the character, but how can you not give that an S? Like, wow. Jesus Christ, dude. What do you think happens if opponent jumps when they get pulled in by the weapon skill? How so? Or rather, what happens? Okay, let's move on to the next character. I mean, Lee, he's an S rank. A lot of people used him for good reason. Oh, we're on to Valkyrie. I did not practice Valk, but it is a character that I played, so I should hopefully remember most of it. If I forget anything, go ahead and let me know. Or if there's been any changes since then. let me know as well. Okay. This is another normal character, so this is one that you could play without needing to spend any currency. I don't own one on this server, but I would very much love to. They get pulled behind you. Oh, could that maybe, like, knock back? Oh, so you missed the kick entirely. Wow. All right. Again, I said this before, but you're really eating good with normal characters at this point in the game. Hang on. I'm going to go ahead and do the thing, because if we're playing Valkyrie, I mean, a Valkyrie is female. I'm not sure what the male term for Valkyrie would be, or the male equivalent, but pretty sure a Valkyrie is supposed to be female. So there we go. Phenomenal. I actually have this gear designed. My Valkyrie was very, very druid. The feathers were instead leaves. The shield and the sword were made out of wood. The armor was made out of wood, etc. Either way, there's the taunt. Oh, that was a bug. She was supposed to put the shield and the sword down in front of her. There is a unique thing about this character that I can't show off, but I'm going to say now. If you gear design the wings during your hover, it would actually retain the texture of your hover, of your wings during the hover, or during the weapon skill, which is a bit of a spoiler for the weapon skill, but there you go. Like, not a lot of skills or gears in the game will animate with your texture, for lack of a better word. So that was always a rare thing that stood out to me. Okay, so this is a melee character. Typical. You gotta run. You gotta, even though you have a shield, it's a timed block, by the way. Disappointing, I know, but it is what it is. And you are relatively slow, I feel like. You're gonna want some movement speed on her, for sure. Maybe like 40, 50. 4-hit basics. 4th hit hard stuns. Your basic string should pick up off feint and hard stun and do a nice slam down. I'm gonna blame that one on DevK. If you are good at this, you could loop that probably one more time after that, but there's a perfect example of how many times you can land that with like little to no practice. Okay, timing, you have to get used to the timing. Let me see. 2-hit dasher, 2nd hit should feint. It does not pick up off itself, but I mean, you don't need to when you have the basic string doing that for you. You also have a hold D dasher, which launches, and I believe you can jump cancel into your jump combo, which is merely a 3-hitter. You also do have an air dash, which I remember being kind of tricky with, and goes quite nicely with your 3-meter passive. By the way, why is it 3 meters? She's supposed to have a 4-meter passive. I see they took away one of her shield dashes. I'm not happy about that. Hold D when you're on the ground will fly you up and then arc you down like that. It will lift the opponent up in such a way that you can get, I want to say, all 3 hits of your air combo in. Maybe we should try this instead on Cyborg. Okay, no, you have... Okay, my bad. You actually do have to get... You have to hold D again at the end. Okay, well, let's just settle for DevK. Never mind, he's short as hell! Oh my god, DevK. It's a nerf to compensate. They buffed the gauge recovery. I guess that's a decent enough trade-off if they only remove the one use. Okay. Let me see. You can go into the... Oh, I thought you could go into the hold D dasher after the first light D, but I guess not. I don't remember that slamming like that. Let's see. So then you would have gotten 4 slams in a row back then, but I guess you're only allowed 3 now due to you having slightly less meter. So I remember being tricky with the air dash, like warping behind him, or they're not warping, but dashing behind him, etc. I think you can You get like a lot of airtime with this character, surprisingly. Oh, third hit of the air string does faint, which again, as we know, your basic string lifts off of fainted. That nerf comes after Patriot, at least, by the way, so just salt to the wounds. If you know, you know. Alright, moving on. I don't remember if she has a counterattack, so let's go say hi to the robot buddies. For sure you gotta have a deflect, right? I know some other defensive properties. Yeah, you have a deflect. Okay, no counterattack to speak of. Whoop, whoop. Excuse me. I want to say that's it. So we'll do the basic string. It faints. We'll pick up off of it. And then we'll go into 2 hits into an air hold D. And then air hold D, air hold D. We'll try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Air hold D, air hold D, air hold D. Could have even gone like 1, 2 jump attacks and then an air hold D. Oops. Yeah, you could definitely like, you can not stagger, but you can get 2 hits and then hold D, 2 hits and then hold D, or at least you used to be able to without practice. I'm sure, I can't say for sure after changes, but that's how I remember it being anyway. We'll go ahead and move on to the skills now. Like, you have a lot in your kit. Air dash, like the air hold D is pretty nice. Hold D dasher, which you can jump cancel out of. I always really liked that one. You know what? I always wished you could go light D into hold D, but no, it goes immediately into the second hit of that, which admittedly is very nice due to it being pretty quick and faints. Okay, what else is there? Oh, and I think I showed this off earlier, but if you hold jump in the air after double jumping, you actually get a slow fall, a glide. Alright, let's go move on to the skills here. Trinket is, you rain down some feathers, they will explode and deal fall damage. They will... Oops. They will hit grounded. And as you can see, it's like a wide array of them, so why don't we see what that looks like in the crowd. This is not a Valkyrie. Whoops. You're not shooting down Valkyrie in 1v1. With Patriot? Or just in general? Hang on. Valkyrie. Okay, so let's see that in a crowd. It does leave you kind of floating in the air for the duration of it, so that's a little worrisome. But I mean, it's an alright skill, but on top of that, and I think I showed this off already, you can't cancel it earlier right now, you can't. It actually does have a recovery. We'll see if they can hit me. Come on, hit me. Knock me down, please. Thank you. It has a ground recovery. Nice. In general, you do not want Valkyrie to have gauge. You can't beat her in a clash. I love her, dude. This is a great character. All right. I wish I could have shown off some cooler combos, but the fact that she has less meters throwing me off a little bit, throwing me off my game, and I am also very rusty. Helmet skill is one of my favorite skills ever, because in this video game, there is very few sources of healing. You got medic weapon skill, you got Valkyrie helmet skill, you got bubble fighter helmet, and you have high priest trinket, or whatever that thing is called. I have it on my gardener. I'll show it off in a little bit. That's it, bro. That's it. Those are the only healing skills in the game. I did not mean to swap. I won't swap the gender again, I guess. We'll just swap back to the character real quick. But not only that, it's a heal for you, it's a heal for all of your teammates in the circle around you, and it's a movement speed buff. I love Valkyrie. I love Valkyrie helmet. I love Valkyrie wings, and you know what? I wouldn't say love is a strong word, but Valkyrie armor is pretty decent too. If you don't time it, you get these crappy little hits, but if you do time it with the pulse, you get fall damage, up to 3 fall damages even. There you go. This is a character that I played full default. No Zoro Hum, although admittedly with Zoro Hum you could do some tricky like air dasher, roll in, roll out kind of thing. So I did rock a Zoro Hum once in a blue moon, but for the most part, pure Valkyrie gears, just gear designed to be druid themed, which I will hopefully have some screenshots ready for you next time. I've shown this off already, but your weapon skill is you fly for a bit. You have a meter ticking down during this. If you fly up too high, it'll use your meter faster. Or your weapon skill up faster. You get a targeting ridicule during this. I don't think there's timing to this, even though it looks like there should be. It is 3 or 4 guard breaking stabs. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's 3.
Good heat.
And that about does it for the character. I'm sad to see the nerfs, or rather, at least the nerf, but still one of my favorite heroes. You already know where this one's going. You already know where this one's going. Easy S. I even want to say up here, but no, that is dedicated solely to my destroyer. I love Valkyrie. And I'm not even joking. Like I listed all of the healing skills in the game. There's 4, maybe 5. Maybe 1 more if you count our cybermedic weapon skill being different than regular cybermedic. Anyway, which I guess it technically is because it also heals SP. Anyway, moving on. The next hero on the list is another one I'm going to have to pull up a video on. By the way, tonight I would like to go up to Jumper. We still have quite a few to go, so I don't think we'll spend too long on the next character, but it's going to be one we're going to have to pull up videos on because this is another premium character. I want to say one of the last premium characters we ever got. So, this is Park Il-pyo from God of High School, the 3rd and final God of High School character we got. I don't remember the femme portrait looking like that. Wow. This guy was nuts. This guy's entire mechanic is fucking insane, dude. Let me pull up the video. There's like 11 skills that can heal you alone, but I mean healing other people. And actually, can you list the ones that come to mind? Because I don't remember there being that many. Let's see. I'm just going to search Park on Takayasugi's channel. It's a premium, so I just can't show it off, sadly. Park Il-pyo from God of High School. Be sure to check out the 60 FPS option on YouTube. That's how old this is. That was brand new.
Hey guys, here with the new hero on Korean Lost Saga. This is known as Park Il-pyo. Hopefully I'm saying the name right. I'm probably not. But it is a premium character from God of High School, the manhwa.
Immaculate taunt, by the way.
And Jin Mori. And it is hero number 128, so let's check him out here. So, 4-hit basics. 4th hit will do a stun, and these basics will lift off feints and stunts and all that, and the 4th hit on airborne will do a little slam down, so not too bad there, not too bad.
Okay.
Your half D is a 2-hitter, which has a follow-up chain, but if you do the 2-hitter and it connects, you can do a feint. Otherwise, you can keep it going and do some rapid-fire punches.
Oh, I don't remember the
pretty
punches.
Nice pressures, so not too bad there. And the bonus behind this half D is actually that the first part of the half D will do a guard breaker, so you can catch people off guard with that little guard breaker there. The problem is the second hit does not actually guard break, so if you do like miss the first hit, the second hit will not guard break. So none of the subsequent hits actually
some consolation, I guess.
Half D. So, but it's something having that first hit doing a guard breaker, so not too bad. So your whole D, you'll transform, and you'll go into your extra mode.
Yeah,
here,
in this form, you
pretty
just
cool.
It's insane,
when you
bro.
transform, you can do a guard breaker and put flaming stats on someone, and it is pretty nice. And you'll get some new stuff.
It is also really badass.
got
You're like a
basic
flaming
strings, so
nine-tailed
1,
fox.
2, 3, 4.
Or Gumiho or whatever.
The 4th hit will actually do a double hit, similar to other characters that have double hits. Not too bad here. pretty nice knockback on it. Pretty good juggle potential. It's got good.
All right,
hitbox.
show the whole D, Takia.
Your
or
half
D.
D in this form is actually just your whole D, pretty much.
Dude,
it's like a little kick up. I'm pretty sure it works as a guard
that
breaker
thing
as well.
is
You
gnarly
got
right
two-hit
there, man.
dasher in
That
your
flame
transform
geezer.
mode as well. And this is really cool. The first part will do flaming status, as you can see there. It's a little launcher. And the second part will also do flaming status. And it's like a... And your second part of your dasher will actually hit grounded as well. So you can jump cancel off hidden grounded and go into some extra combos, which is really, really good for the transform mode. And you can do this like multiple times as well. So it's pretty OP. It's pretty OP.
I'm sure he's been nerfed over the years,
like
but dude, this dude was
sure
busted back
on
in the day.
dasher. So you can see there, it is a quick get up status. That would help preventing infinite combos, because that would be pretty abusable as an infinite combo if they had like a longer flame status. So you also have your...
Name a few. There's Armedic, Golden Priest Trinket. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Valkyrie Helmet. Yep. Ghost Magician Armor. Dark Knight Helm.
Three-hit jumper on
I don't know that last one.
the transform mode. And the first two hits will do like little half feints. If you hit 2 in a row, it's just going to do knockdown. But if you hit the third, it's going to do a bounce down, which will allow you to combo, which is pretty cool.
Oh, Jesus.
You can also use your hold D in the air as well.
Of course you can.
That'll work as a
It does burn
pickup
meters
as well.
at least.
So let's finish with the normal form here. But we didn't quite get all the way through it. So you have a 3-hit dasher in your normal form. Actually, it didn't connect there, right? The second hit will lift, and the third hit will do a nice little slam down knockback.
Okay.
So pretty nice there, pretty nice there. Really cool as well. Really, really good there. And you can also jump cancel the second attack to go into your jump attacks, which can be really cool as well. Really, really good to use that. I'm pretty sure it works off grounded as well for a little extra damage. You gotta have the right speed behind it.
What do you mean?
The first two hits work similarly. They do kind of mini half feint flinchers, so that's pretty nice. And you can also use your half D in the air. This is a slam down that does a stun, and it does hit grounded as well, so pretty nice there. You can link your half D.
All right, I want to see a combo. Let's just skip ahead to the disgustingness of this. One of the very few broken premiums with low mastery requirement.
Remember, even when after you use that,
I believe that.
Maybe you start with your air half D to your basic attacks. Get it lined up for your dash attack jump cancel to transform. Beautiful.
Yep.
Do a few basic hits there.
Yep.
Do some wild stuff here.
Yep.
You can do so much stuff here, guys.
My.
It's just crazy. I killed myself, but I mostly killed him as well. And you got to remember, even when after you use that whole D a couple times, you have a lot of different options with your skills if they're ready. So let's say you use your whole D completely on DevK. I think I forgot to respawn him. So yeah, if you expend your passive on your combo on your transform state,
it has Tiger Tail built in.
Have a lot of room to combo on your normal form. So it can be really, really nice.
Yeah, I hated fighting this guy.
I'm already about to
it was another example of where I wish I played him, but I didn't want to.
So yeah,
I would have felt scummy playing him.
And then you can do your ground pickups. It can be really brutal.
The trinket's really badass, though.
The combos will never stop on par.
It's just a better version of Jin Mori's trinket. You do a sort of like Tatsumaki Tornado, but then it does fall damage as well.
So yeah, Bark is an insane character, guys. He's a really,
the
really
input
great
is just faster
character.
transformation. Okay.
His transform mode is just off the charts, insane. His default form just as good as Jin Mori there with the rapid fire pressure,
right?
The guard breaker. Just so many great things about him. That's so amazing. It's just something
too much,
so
bro.
amazing to me. So yeah.
I mean, look, he's going in S. I'm not happy about it. But he's going in S. And we don't need to see more. Just take my word for it, man. He's busted as fuck. Hello? There we go. All right. Up next on the list is Earthbreaker. So this was known as Earthbreaker on the NA server, but on Korea and other servers, it's known as Terra. There's the male portrait. There's the female portrait. Did I mention that the transformation works like Alice? So when you're out of health, it works like another health bar, right? like a lot of the sort of transformation or installs. I believe it. I believe it, because of course. This is a rare character, so you probably are gonna have to pay for it unless you get lucky during an event. I guess they're way kinder about giving out rares nowadays, though. Like, I haven't paid a single cent on this account, but I have all this, surprisingly. Let's see. We're going on to rares. Earthbreaker. Here's mail. I will admit, Giant Axe, badass, but I felt scummy playing this character too. And also, this character and his gears, even just his gears on releasing, marked some, not a milestone, but like, dude, his whole gimmick is pretty gross. You'll find out why. Here's fun. Okay, I don't really know how to combo with him, but I'll try here. 3-hit basics, 3rd-hit feints. Your basics don't pick up off feint, but that's where your dasher comes in. Your dasher will pick up off feint, and if you time your basic string right, you'll get a slam down. You can walk up, and then continue. Off stream, I was able to loop that 3 times in a row, which I think is pretty impressive. Whoa. Oops. Everyone has Earthbreaker/Terra for obvious reasons. Fun fact, all of his gear can be countered by a single emote. Oh, that's weird. Even worse that it takes 5 hits to get rid of it completely. Jesus. Alright. Gotta walk up, and then the air decay kind of gets you there. Okay, well, you can see it. You could maybe loop that 1 or 2 more times after that. Let's see. You've already seen the dasher? No, like, jump cancel ability to my knowledge, by the way. Let's see. You can jump cancel the last hit of your basic string. So you have 2 hits in the air. If you hit them both, it has like really good vertical hitboxes, so it's actually not hard to... Sometimes jump attacks are hard to land on standing opponents. This one is not one of those such cases. Gets a nice ground slam. And then you also have a hold D in the air. Which is this 2-hitting ground slam. Like the first hit, the first time it connects, it hits, but then it also slams the ground for another hit. And then you can also press the D key to ground slam as well, which perfectly sets them up. And you can do that off grounded opponents. My timing's a little funky when it comes to the slam version. Again, but if you practice, I'm sure you could get the timing down for that pretty easily, or with enough time. This is basically like outside of his gimmick. This is what a lot of people would use for. They'd use him for. They would swap to him on grounded to pick up and go on to something else. Yes, I was gonna move on to that next. Actually, you do have a dasher hold D, but I've mentioned this before. I don't like when your dasher is another string. It's a 5-hit, I want to say. Yeah, it's a 5-hit new basic string. The first hit of your hold D dasher is a 2-hitter, right? But then you get 3 hits after that. And the last hit should hard stun, but I whiffed through FK's afro there. There we go. And then off the hard stun, you can go into your hold D dasher, and then into your ground slam, and the loops. But I'm not a fan of these because I think they're a little too predictable. You can't like jump cancel this. There's no other like utility to my knowledge. Yeah. Okay. It's suddenly Printera music, which is unfitting for this character, but I'm gonna let it play anyway. So, you have a hold D, and I don't want to talk about it, but I have to. You hold D and you start charging a slash. You form a reticule in front of you. You can jump out of it. You can even dash out of it, but then it'll activate on the dash. You can delay the string though, I suppose, but I'm still not a fan of dashers that have their own string associated with them, for the most part anyway. So, you can see you start charging meter. Well, actually, first and foremost, once you've charged for a second, While you're glowing purple like this, you have light super armor. Guard breakers will still hit you, so anything that guard breaks will hit you out of this. But regular attacks won't. It's insane, actually. When you let go at no bar, it's a half faint, which I don't think it'll fully faint. Yeah, it just knocks down if you do it twice in a row. Three-meter dash Terra jump scare? How so? Well, hang. Oh, yes, I know what you mean. Okay, moving on to when you have 1 meter, you slam the ground, and it will hit grounded, and it does a little shockwave that launches. If you have 2 meters, it does 2 shockwaves, and these do hit grounded. If you had the timing down better, you could do the basic string loop a couple times. However, I am not practiced with this character. There, I did it 1.5 times. Okay, well, like Box of Octopus just said, for anyone faint of heart listening in at home, avert your eyes now, because when you fully charge 3 meter, fully charge the hold D, it makes a fucking hole in the ground. That is an actual functional hole in the ground only for your enemies. Your allies won't fall into that. You might not be aware, but I will remind you, fall damage in this game is a big chunk of your life bar. If you have the dexterity stat, well, if you have any points in the dexterity stat, it lowers it, and you should have some dex. At least some dex, preferably a decent amount. That is gonna chunk your health bar. And they just get that for holding D long enough, bro. What the fuck, man? Also, it takes a while, but they do eventually run out of super armor on the hold D, but it wouldn't matter because they would have gotten out what they needed to get out by then. This dude's entire gimmick is making pits as far back as when his armor first came out. Oh, I'm safe. He's far away. Casually dashes in with a full hold D charge. Yep. And it will work on grounded. I can't think of a way to actually ground this guy, though, so just take my word for it. It will drop them while they're grounded. And he's dead. Just like that. You do have a counterattack. I believe it's a launcher. Let's see. Yeah, it's like a 2-hitter slam, and then you could immediately follow up with your air hold D. Well, or just a standing hold D going up to 1 bar. Okay, as you can see, it's easier to actually land on a normal-sized target. No offense, Death K. The moment it touches you, you fall. Even if you try jumping, you've already fallen. This is Earthbreaker's entire thing. I don't think there's any other mechanics about the character to comment on. Okay, hang on. We're going back to Pseudo Regalia. Let's move on to the skills. Let's just rip this Band-Aid off right away. The trinket is insane. You become a moving pit. Admittedly, it is kind of slow, but it is massive, and fall damage is very scary in this game. Like, Jesus, man. You think you're safe on the ground? At most, you're gonna eat some kind of combo. Take some fall damage with you. I would say his worst skill is his helmet. You mash the ground, or rather you mash D, you start punching the ground. The more you punch, the bigger the hole gets. It's honestly probably his worst skill. But even then, it still makes a pit, so if you have like a new account and you only get, if you had to get one of his gears, and if you only had the helmet, I mean, it's at least an option to confirm a kill or do fall damage or you know what. It looks like it'll knock them away if you hit them with it first, so you'll probably want to use that point blank. I don't even need to test it on a crowd, but I will. Yep. At least the helmet one goes away kind of fast. Want something disgusting? Weapon skill plus boxer trophy. It's perfectly timed so they lose their gear. I know what you're talking about. I've been hit with that shit before. So boxer trophy, that was on the tier list stream 1. You raise a trophy up and it strips a gear off of everybody around you. But you can time it perfectly with the pull-in on your weapon skill. More on the weapon skill momentarily. I'm going to show off the armor now. So, you enter this stance. There's no time limit on it, at least to my knowledge. You can press D, either standing or in the air, to create a pit. The problem is, this pit lasts a while. And I can't test this by myself, but the pit will be close. Like, you have to be maybe like this close to it to see it. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure the pit will not be visible on your screen. Which is, dude, like actual insanity. You can also punch in the air. Which I don't think makes too much of a difference, but still. What a busted mechanic, man. And that's not all. Here's the weapon skill. You pull everybody in, and then they fall in a pit. At least this one isn't... The pit isn't there for too long, but it is still there. The pit is invisible until you reach a certain point. Thank you. That's what I meant. Wow. Like, wow, dude. Maybe he's a little basic without the pit mechanic, but with the pit mechanic, the fact that your pit mechanic, hold D charge, has super armor on it, and you can dash and then drop the pit on the ground. You can easily pick people up for free with your air hold D and loop your basic string a couple of times. Wow. Reminder, that's a hold that ignores invincibility. A single touch means you fall, yes. For those of you in the back of the theater right now, I don't know why we're in a theater, but go along with it. Holy shit, that's crazy. And I will say this right now. As soon as that armor hit the shop for the first time ever, it got first added to the game. So they would release a character every 2-3 weeks, and then a new gear, like on the in-between. Like a new, like 1 or 2 gears, either an armor, and a trinket, and a helmet, or some combination. As soon as that hit the shop, I bought that shit. Of course I bought that shit, dude. It's busted, man. The air hold D alone makes this hero A tier, and then you have all of this extra shit on top, bro. Earthbreaker, aka Terra, depending on your server. It's an easy S, and I hate... I mean... What more do you want from me, man? Maybe you want a stream that's not 2 frames a second. Ah! There. Much better. Okay, moving along. The next hero on the list is one that I don't know a whole lot about, but wow, what aura. Yomu, Zoomers, I think you're already gone, unfortunately, but Jack-O-Lantern, another rare character, so you're probably going to have to buy it with money. Here's the male portrait, here's the female portrait. Dude, a very cool character, and let's go ahead and show them off now. Okay. We'll stick with Medi here. And then Jack-O-Lantern. I had one, but I got one near like the tail end of the game's service, so I just... What's the word? I just never actually had time to learn it. Oh, hello, Urge. Check out Jack-O-Lantern. Well, here's the femme one. And the male one has, like... In fact, we'll just train with the male one, then. Look at Homeboy, man. If you looked in a dictionary, this would be the definition for dapper. You may have made me lose my Adophi. Sorry about that, Urge. Now, he's not an amazing character, but he's a cool character with a great design. Alright. let's go ahead and start. So, off of my memory, this is all I really know about him. 4-hit basics. Oh, by the way, just the aura alone of his weapon being a cane sword is really fucking sick. Just saying. So, 4-hit basics. You can loop these. If your timing's not dog shit like me anyway. Hello? There we go. You can jump cancel the last hit. And you have a 3-hit air combo, but you're not going to want to do the 3rd hit. More on that momentarily. You have a dash attack, but here's the thing. The first dash attack is not an attack at all. It's actually a mobility-based thing. It's a dash. But here's the thing. You can dash input out of this. So you have a double dasher. You can dash in any direction. This alone has crazy style, but not even just style, because it goes through the opponent. So you can cross them up twice and go into your basic string. So if you press attack after the first dash or after the second dash, you'll do this lunge forward sort of cut. That will launch them, and then you can do your basic string off of that. And then jump cancel, I think. We'll go ahead and try that here. If I can get my timing right. Yep. Okay, so you have a 100-meter passive on this character, and it's mostly used up by your hold D, whether in the air or on the ground, but there is another way to use it that is wholly unique in this game. If you press, instead of having a double jump, if you keep tapping jump in the air, you will drain your passive bar, but you're able to walk in the air. And it's a very unique animation as well, very fitting for the design as well. Let's see. Like, the dash alone is so cool for the cross-up potentiality of it, or even just like the dodging potentiality of it, man. That's very fucking fast. Let's go ahead and reset over here, and I'll start showing you what your hold D can do, or rather your passive. Hold D on the ground fires out a pumpkin. Pumpkin will hit a target and make them hover at you for a second. You can use this in the air as well. It will kind of home in as well in the air. Kinda. Maybe you'll see it better in just a moment. So, what I remember combo-wise is this. It's a little awkward, so it's a little awkward, so hopefully I can pull it off. But I forgot. While you're in this air-walking stance, if you press the attack key, you'll do a couple stomps. I don't think there's much utility to this otherwise, so... The pumpkin grants recovery, meaning if you clash with someone, you win. So you'll recover if you hit with your pumpkin? That's kinda sick. I think I know what you're talking about, yeah. But let's go ahead and try and do this here. We'll start with a launcher, and then I'll go into the 4-hit basic and jump cancel the last hit. At least I'll try to here. So instead of doing the 3rd hit of your jump attack, you're going to want to... Oh my god, my fingers don't work, guys. 2 hits into an air hold D. Land. You could probably 2-hit air hold D, land, 2-hit air hold D, land, but it's a little awkward and I don't know the timing at all. So I think we'll just do that. Maybe into another hold D. It was a bit low to the ground there. I keep dropping on the first hit, but it's because there's such a long delay in between each slash that it feels awkward for me. I'm not used to this kind of timing. You see how I meant how there is kind of like a homingness to it, but it oddly didn't home well. It didn't home good enough there. There we go. You could probably just like, I imagine you are want to get 2 hits of your combo pumpkin, 2 hits of your combo pumpkin, but I am a little rusty for that. Let's see here. Jacko actually have fall damage combo that requires a lot of gauges and uses Robin armor. Really? It's done by trying to drag the enemy up using Robin armor to double jump to do it until they reach fall heights. Cool. The pumpkin grants recovery. You can technically walk on the void with airwalk, and the condition you have the ground above your head. Huh. Combo is basic attack into 2-hit air, into air hold D, jump and repeat until gauge run out. Yes, but I keep fucking up the timing. I'll give it one more try here. Then you land. If the pumpkin landed, then I could have landed back on the ground, jump, 2-hit pumpkin, jump, 2-hit pumpkin, jump, 2-hit pumpkin until you run out of meter. You want to leave a small gap in your airstring so that you're closer to the ground. Okay. Okay. One last try for real, and then I'll show off the counterattack, which is also a very unique counterattack, and we'll move on to the skills. Oops. Okay. I think I get what you mean. He's too high up, so it's like messing with my pumpkins. That's all right. Let's move on to the counterattack. This one's pretty unique, man. You give them a pumpkin, they run around uncontrollably, and then explode. I don't think the explosion hard stuns them for a little bit, and I imagine it AoEs. Maybe we can show that off over here if I can drag one of these guys into each other. Walk into your friend? Can you walk into your friend? Can you walk into your friend? Oh my god, it actually multi-hits. Or not multi-hits, but if someone's close enough, you can hit multiple people with the counter. One at a time, please! You know what? That's cool enough. That works. Is this the labbing he speaks of? I'm just trying to show off the counterattack. I wasn't sure if the explosion on the counter AoE'd or not. I think it's safe to say it probably does. Back when Hook's bombs deal damage to you, you can do an infinite with Jacko and Iron Knight. That sounds wacky. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the skills here. Trinket skill, you put down a lantern, and I think, regardless of how far out you go, you can then... It's basically, it tethers you back to the lantern. Should also work as a recovery. I don't know if it would work on, like, fire status or something like that, though. Also usable in the air. Not much to write home about this. Maybe you could reset a combo with it. A little tricky, a little waste of a equipment slot, I think. It's basically Arcanist Helmet. That's how I was feeling about it as well. Arcanist Helmet's basically the same thing. But I want to say this one lasts longer than Arcanist Helmet. Don't quote me on that, though. Helmet is really basic because it's one of the oldest gears in the game. You summon one of the pumpkins from the graveyard map. You can pick it up and throw it, and it'll not freeze enemies, but they'll get pumpkin headed for a second. Let's see what this looks like in a crowd. I want to say that won't despawn, and it has a short cooldown for what it is, but do I recommend using this helmet? Probably not, but I shouldn't. No, just don't use this, but it's at least it's fun. On the graveyard map, those just spawn naturally. Helmet can be evolved, but not preferred because it changes the female version. Huh. Is it then a pumpkin head for the female version? Because the femme version of this is... well, we can just show the portrait, actually. Hang on. The femme portrait is like these two little pumpkin hair accessories. Oh, my PC! Okay. Evolve has uses, maybe. Fair enough. By the way, I love skills in this game that are area denial. So we're having like a big chaotic team fight, and then I throw one of these in the field. I remember this one raining down 3 volleys of fire. It seems to only do 2 now. That could be a nerf, or I could just be remembering wrong. By the way, with Justice Defender's blocking walk, he can walk while blocking, and his shield will push things around. That's like a unique thing, not just to him, but not a lot of things in this game can move stationary objects. But you know what can move stationary objects? Jack weapon skill. So as if it wasn't chaotic enough, check that shit out. Okay, we'll cancel that early. Exactly what I just said, Box. Two great minds think alike. Okay, we'll move on to the weapon skill. Not only do you hit them with goddamn what a pose, you can fucking moonwalk at them, bro. Technically any direction. The armor was nerfed? Damn, dude. And then you can hit the D key to throw out some cascading explosions. I mean, let's see that in a crowd. Also, 1 second. The only hero that can moonwalk? Yes, at least to my knowledge. Alright, here's the weapon skill in a crowd. Jesus. You know what? Let's do that one more time. God damn, dude. While he might not be like best in the game, like contender for best in the game or anything remotely close to that, he's got style. He's got tons of unique stuff to him. I am gonna put him in S rank. Also, an immaculate taunt. Yeah, we're gonna put him in S rank. Does he go toe to toe with like, Dragon Slayer and Nengen? Yeah, kinda actually. Yeah, I think he deserves S. If you want a skill that crashes your PC, let me know. I know one. You know what, bro? Let's end the stream with that. We got a couple more characters to do now, though. Okay. This is an Indonesian server create a hero submission. So sometimes they would have a contest to design a hero, and then the top winner would get added to the game. I was very salty about this one because the Indonesian players were always complaining about having a bad version of the game. That's why they would lag on our server. That would piss me off so much because they actually got shit. They actually got shit in the game. We had a hero design contest, was never added. I have a whole Magic Gunner hero concept like sketched out and the whole moveset around here somewhere. I'll show that off sometime in the near future once we get to Magic Swordsman. Maybe even next stream, I'll have that ready. Meanwhile, they have two heroes in the game. Gacha, I think, and Penjak Salat here. Here's the male portrait, here's the female portrait. So I was a little bitter about this character at first, but it was very fun to play, so I got over that. I got over that eventually. Let's go ahead and move on to it. It's a normal character. So you could play it just... Oops. So you could unlock it just by ranking up. Penjak Salat. There we go. But we don't have good shit, though. You had better shit than we had on NA, man. That's all I'll say. We'll leave that there. Here's what the character looks like. Male. Your weapon is like a knife? Karambit? I don't know the word for that. Pretty cool, honestly, but I do prefer the femme version, so we'll show that off as well. Here we are. It's a Karambit. Okay, they did have that right then. And here's Femme. So I don't have my screenshots ready on hand. I'll hopefully have that ready for next time, but I styled mine after the Etrian Odyssey 4 Dancer. And it was pretty close, actually. I was quite proud of that one. By the way, the purple glow is from when we were showcasing Femme Jack-O-Lantern earlier. That's a glitch. It's merely a visual thing, so that's not supposed to be there. Here's the taunt as well. Salat is basically martial art. We have no specific lore/hero for this. Huh. Either way, let's go ahead and move on to the character itself. So, you're a melee character, you do have a run, Here's... Okay, look. There are characters with shields in this game that don't have infinite block. Yet for some reason, the little karambit knife gives you infinite block, but on top of that, it extends your range so you can like kind of recon a little bit as well. But on top of that, you have a dash input during your block. Infinite block is like crazy, dude. A character we saw earlier that's rocking a full-on shield. Valkyrie doesn't have infinite block. So that's already pretty nuts. You have 4-hit basics, I believe. 4th hit feints. Your basic string does not pick up off feint. You have a 3-hit dasher. 1st hit half feints. 2nd hit half feints. So if you land both in a row, it fully feints. And 3rd hit launches. A 2-hit jump attack as well, by the way, with an air hold D, which hits grounded. But here's the thing, the air hold D also half feints. So if you land the air hold D, you just do a dasher and you get a full feint. Pretty gnarly. That's not the only way of getting a half feint, though, because you have a hold D on this character. You can dash out of it. You can't jump out of it, but you can dash out of it. It charges up to 100. At 100, I believe it's a guard-breaking projectile that knocks back pretty far. But at anything under 100, it's a half feint. So even the quickest little mini charge will half feint. And if you're close enough, you can then follow up with the 1st hit of your dasher for a full feint. Unlike Sparta, you can't dash when poisoned. That's an interesting caveat. Okay, I'll take that. This trait is any D-hold attack, charge, or not can be followed up with a dash attack for a feint. Yes. Wait, except for the last one. The full charge one is knockback for sure. Like, wow, dude, the utility of that is insane. You get one of these, it's a feint. How do you pick up off feint with this character, though? Obviously, you have the launcher, which you can then do your basic string off of, because your basic string won't pick up by itself. You don't have a hold D dasher either. What happens if you hit with... Oh my fucking god, I forgot about that. The projectile ground bounces off of feint. Dude, y'all got an amazing character. That's insane. D-hold lifts off of feint. That is insane, dude. Or just knocks back if you go for the full charge. I guess that's unideal. Am I even be able to get a 2nd hit of the air hold D? Yep. Dude, that's crazy. This hero sucks. Nobody uses this hero. In parentheses, Gaslight. I used this hero. Not a whole lot, but I did use it. Again, I themed mine after the Etrian Odyssey Dancer. Like, that alone is nuts, dog. Does the 1st hit have feint? It does. I'm just curious if you can get the full feint off of that. You can! Although, it's way easier to just land that. Way, way, way easier. But I guess the option is there. No hold D dasher to my knowledge. I believe you have a counterattack, and it is a unique animation. It may actually share the animation with the trinket. More on that momentarily. Oops. There you go. Wait, oh, never mind. I thought you grabbed them and then slammed them. But no, you slide behind them and kick. Which I imagine sets them up very nicely. There we go. And then I'm sure you can probably do your basic string off of that. It's not like the dash guard is the fastest and safest running button because it doesn't turn your body around like Sparta. I mean, yeah, but even still, you cannot tell me that they didn't give this character so much stuff, dude. That's insane. You can feint off of almost anything. You can then ground bounce off of any feint status. Like, man, it actually nuts. And it's also like, I don't know, I think that's a very quick dasher. I could get caught off guard by that. Okay, so I think that's it. We have defensive options on this character. Pretty good ones at that. The trinket I need to showcase with the robot buddies because it's a counter stance. You slam them on the ground like that. I don't remember if it's a ground recovery. I think it might be. We'll find out if this dwarf decides to knock me down. Okay, no. But you know what is a ground recovery? The helmet, which is like Robin Hood helm skill. It's knockdown, or rather fall damage. But it's also a ground recovery. I used this on... I don't even remember what character I used that on, but I absolutely used that helmet. And I also use the trinket once in a while, too. It has projectile, ground hit, infinite guard, guard break, easy feints, good knockback. Of course it's busted. Exactly. Y'all ate really good with this one. They gave it too much, even. No air use on either of them. Armor skill? I don't remember. Oh, it's because it's just knockback. If you just let it go, it fires a projectile that knocks back. If you charge it, it knocks back further. That's about it. Helmet is meta gear. It's also, I don't know if it's like a quick cooldown or not, but it certainly is really good. Like I said, I definitely used it. I just can't remember what character I had that helmet on. I want to say the armor skill hits grounded. It does. All right. Onto the weapon skill. So not only does this character have everything we've just discussed, it also has a really good weapon skill. If you just let it go, like if you don't tap anything, it hard stuns the opponent over and over again and then ground bounces them. You can attack your D key to end it early for the ground bounce. I believe your weapon skill's ground bounce will hit grounded. And you have an air use. And your air use version picks off grounded, man. Character's fucking insane. What more do I gotta say, man? What more do I have to say? I'm salty since we never got our own Create a Hero contests winner in the game, but he's an S rank, man. Shit's crazy. Oh, man, shit's crazy. Okay. Next character on the list is Shadow Ranger. Another normal character. Melee. Here's the male portrait. Here's the female portrait. You can clearly see they're going for like an Assassin's Creed kind of thing. It is a normal character, so you can eventually get it just by playing. It should be around here. Yep. Here's what the male looks like. Again, minus the purple aura. That's from Jack-O-Lantern earlier. Helmet's really cool in that it has like that eye glow to it. You can actually gear design the face part of that too. Very cool. I would like to show off Femme, although it's not all that different. Hey, we're peeking ahead there. You can't change while the character's taunting, so I had to move there, and here's Femme. Listen, this hero trade-off is that we lost tournament rights at 2014. We only had one tournament! We only got invited to, like, the World Championships once! Anyway, look. It's water under the bridge for the most part, but... Oh, dude. Some of you fuckers coming over here complaining about your server. Complaining like you're starving when you have a table full of a fucking feast compared to NA. Anyway. That's enough, Zex. That's enough. It's been 15 years. None of this matters anymore. NA is dead. And buried. Anyway. Here's Shadow Ranger. This is a melee character. Normal. You have... the weapon I've always really liked. It's a knife and a hand-mounted crossbow. What's not to like about that, man? That's a cool combination. And obviously, like, clearly they're going for like an Assassin's Creed kind of thing, but not just like a one-to-one ripoff. At least I wouldn't think so. I like whatever they got going on here. Okay, so you're a melee character, you have a run. No infinite block. It's not Pentax Salon or anything. Randomly having infinite block on a little knife. This character is really fucking cool, dude. I will show it off to the best of my ability, but you can definitely do more than what I'm going to show off here. So, 4-hit basics. Your 4th hit is a projectile that feints. If you your third hit knocks back quite far, and if you land it off of feint, it also just kind of knocks back. Not much to write home about there. You do have a 3-hit dasher. Third hit launches. Third hit is another projectile. It's a much shorter range projectile though, but it will kind of knock back. Meanwhile, your I guess the fourth hit of the basic is also quite short range. So your dasher does not pick up off hard stun or feint, I don't think. Well, it would help if Def K wasn't so short. Jesus. For sure your basic string doesn't pick up off that. But you do have a way to pick up off of it, don't worry. More on that in just a little bit. You have a 2-hit air combo, I guess. You fire 2 projectiles. If both of them land in relative quick succession, you get a feint. You can dash away during dash strings. Oh my god, that's so cool. Randomly, we also get a dash input with a unique animation. I know it doesn't mean a whole lot when an animation is whether an animation is unique or not, but I always liked keeping track of like, oh, this character is the only one with that double jump animation. This is the only character with that dash animation, etc. Okay, very cool. So you can make that safe, or maybe have better spacing for your hold D, which we'll go ahead and move on to now. By the way, I didn't show it off, but your jump attack does hit grounded. It doesn't do a whole lot off grounded, though. Sort of. It does crazy knockback once in a while. I don't really know why. Moving on to your hold D. So this does not actually use your meter. You can fire out as many of these arrows as you want. If it actually hits somebody, it will tether you to them. And then holding D after this will warp you behind them and do this 4-hit string that ends in a launcher. But landing that... Oh, sorry. Landing the hold D on a feinted target will knock them up, meaning that's your go-to way to capitalize off of your hard stuns and off of your feints, which your feints would be like this. By the way, if the target is airborne when you hold D while you're tethered to them, you will warp behind them and do a 3-hitter that ends in a ground slam. We'll go ahead and try that one more time. Let's see. Fastest way to feint would be that, I guess. Or the dasher. That works too. Try and get 2 of our arrows here. I whip the arrows. Okay, that wasn't quick enough. You can follow the air attack up into D-hold on grounded enemy if you landed both arrows quick enough. Interesting. Let me... I know of one combo. I'm almost positive there's a way to extend it even further, but let's see. We'll get a hard stun off of this. Hold D, warp behind. We'll try to warp behind anyway. Maybe the spacings are just a little off. We'll do it this way. Ground slam. Get some arrows. I didn't mention it, but you do have a dasher. You have a hold D dasher, which this is what actually uses your meter, your hold D dasher. Or your air hold D, yeah. Again, your standing hold D that just fires the arrow doesn't use it up, but warping to them when they're tethered to them does actually do the work. Does actually use up a passive bar. Okay, so the hold D dasher you just saw, it hits grounded, and then it actually lifts them up enough to land the other hits in. So we'll try that one more time. We will get a feint with the air shots. Ground slam, get the arrows. And then I'm almost positive after the launcher, after that, you could then probably do a couple hits of your basic string. I'm not sure what the preferred combo ender to that would be, but even that alone is really badass. And let's say you miss your timing on that. Well, that actually doesn't matter because your air hold D hits ground, or your dasher hold D hits grounded. Just got to be a little like the spacing on it is really important. There you go. Surprisingly, Shadow Ranger is underrated simply because it has a very high skill ceiling. Yes, I'm sure there's some crazy shit you could do with this character. What else am I feel like I'm missing something. Let's see if he has a counterattack. I can't remember off the top of my head here. Yes. It's a two-hitter that ends in a feint, which perfectly sets you up for the thing. Up!
적에게
I
당했습니다.
was worried about that. Whoops. Again, spacing is real important here. He has two versions of the counterattack. A whole D version of the counter? Really? Fascinating. Well, let's take a look. Our robot buddies. Okay. I don't think that would be it. That didn't feel like a counterattack. That's the counter, and it hard stuns them. And then off of the hard stun, wow. So you have the regular version, or you have a whole D version. Wow. It was awkward that it chose the standing target instead of the one that I had marked previously, but I guess that's fine. Thank you for that. I would not have known about that functionality. Very, very, very cool. There is also an aspect of the passive, or the air dasher, that I really like. It's not an air dasher, it's the air hold D. No matter how far you are from the surface... Oh, double jump on the character, by the way. Yeah. No matter how... Like, I could be at the very bottom of the map. If I warp, it's gonna land me on ground. Oh, okay. Oh, it teleports to the closest marked target. Gotcha. So I'm going to try to just kill some time and stay as low to the ground as I possibly can. Oh, I fucked myself over by warping onto that little platform over there. Whoops. Okay. One of my favorite characters in the game, Jumper, also had similar functionality, and we'll be ending tonight with Jumper, so I'm really looking forward to that one. I don't know how to describe that other than being... Was that a 25 permanent rare gear chest? What the hell? I'll crack that open in just a moment then. I don't know, dude. That's really cool functionality. You can be really, really tricky with this character. Speaking of being really tricky, he has a lot of defensive capabilities. We'll go ahead and move on to those now. Starting with the skills. Trinket is you roll and then fire crossbow bolts in a direction, they feint. And as you know, if you have a feint status, as long as you have a meter to work off of, and look at how quickly he gets his meter back, you're going to be able to get one of your combos. It has a ground recovery to it. We'll just go ahead and show off the defensive capabilities over here at the robots. If you want to knock me down, thank you. You roll and then fire out your projectiles. The helmet skill is a dash forward into a grab. Hello? There we go. You're supposed to slit their throat, but with the ogre golem, I'm kind of just like castrating him. Yikes. I don't think I can show that on Twitch, actually. We'll show that with the shorty. There we go. It's a grab skill. Did not work on NA, because of course it's a grab skill. If it did work, it'd be pretty cool, because, I mean, it lifts off grounded and puts them in feint status. That's really cool. Too bad it's a grab, and the netcode sucks. Armor skill is also pretty damn good, too. You mash your D key, and it will hard stun a target. The thing is, it also hits grounded. And it hits multiple times. It'll even hard stun, which, again, sets you up perfectly, dude. What a good armor skill. What a good kit, minus the helmet. The helmet would be good. Again, the helmet would be pretty dang good if it worked on NA. But it doesn't. Meanwhile, the weapon skill is badass. Do you remember Striker helmet skill? How you go intangible for a while and you get this targeting reticule? You just get that on your weapon skill. And it lasts longer than Striker, I feel like. Maybe not. Maybe about the same. Where you end up, you stun with like this black lightning effect. That does last a little while. And then you can press D up to 4 times afterward to end on a hard stun. I thought it was a hard stun, but it looks like it's a launcher. Oops. And I was about to go into that too. Weapon skill is a ground recovery. The fact alone that the character is so cool and that it has like I wanted to use this character strictly because you can recover off the ground with a weapon skill, dude. I could go on the offensive, or I could fuck off. I could be over here now. Bye. Hell yeah, dude. Easiest fucking S of the night. Like, I know there was some busted ass like contenders for S rank tonight, dude. Just on style and vibes alone, man, that's an S right there. Let's move on to the next character. Okay. We've got 2 characters left tonight. I will admit right now, I don't know how to play Dark Knight because nobody played Dark Knight the right way. Or maybe they did play it the right way, and it's supposed to be an unfun character, which sucks because what a cool design! Let me go ahead and explain why. Let's move on to Dark Knight. It is a normal melee character. I think this was the best point to be into Lost Saga, bro. Every new character came out was a banger. Nothing was too frustratingly busted. Saying that with an asterisk here is what it looks like. I've been told this looks like a Fate Stay Night kind of thing. I don't know anything about Fate. I don't want to know anything about Fate, so I'll take their word for it. Does look really badass. He's a melee character. He has a run. He has a timed block. No double jump or air dasher to speak of. Actually, he does have an air dasher. Okay, we're just gonna rip the band-aid off. I'll explain the character as much as I can. 3-hit basics, 3rd hit hard stuns. You do lift off of it, and you might be able to pick that up again. Maybe you could get a dasher in at the end of that. If I'm quick enough here. Female armor is a perfect template for a popular character called Saber. So, I forgot to mention this, but every time you land a melee attack on somebody, you build up your 100 bar meter. When you hit 100, you enter Black Knight form. Or you get an install form here. It enhances most of your moves to like a crazy degree. So let's just showcase what I was already doing. The 3rd hit of your basic string now electrifies and then faints instead of just hard stunning. You can't like keep getting it over and over again. They'll get a brief moment of shock immunity, I guess, for lack of a better word. You do have an air hold D, which does a decent little bit of knockback there. I showed up the dasher earlier, but you have a 3-hit dasher. Also hard stuns. Also picks up off hard stun. You have a 3-hit air combo. The 3rd hit hard stuns. So let me just recant you the tales now. You can dash cancel out of most moves. In fact, I think you can dash cancel out of everything. And in fact, every time you do a dash cancel, you start getting more and more of these circling aura things around you. And when you have as many as I have right now, when you've dash canceled 3 times, your next standing attack is instead a different move. We're gonna... Let's feint off of a jump attack here. There we go. Your next grounded attack is now a ground slam that will pick up off grounded. Let me showcase what the install form of the dasher does. And let me showcase what the install form of the triple dasher thing is. It hits 3 times. The last one was supposed to bounce. We're going to blame DevK on that. DevK being short on that. Every single melee attack you do while in that form does eat up 10 bar of your meter at the very least. Also, getting hit should more than likely drain your meter as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, you also have a hold D dasher. I don't get what utility this is. It seems to pull at you, but I don't know for what purpose. I guess it ground slams if they're close enough. You can feint an enemy with D hold into jump D hold. Really? It's jump cancelable. Oh, whoops.
Heat.
Holy shit, you can. Like, the character is just insanely strong. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm still getting some sick shit. But there's a reason I never wanted to play this character. Nobody played this guy like a normal melee. This is all they would do. This is all they would do. Because that last hit of the jump string ends in a hard stun, they would just jump at you and spam this shit, dash away for safety, and then, of course, they would have their ground slam ready as well. Character is dead because they give you resist if you try to do the infinite. Bro, I don't think you need an infinite, bro. This character is just insane as is. That's basically all I remember. I'm not sure what the preferred follow-up is after that enhanced ground slam, but it's just nuts, dude. I would have liked, maybe I would have liked this character if it weren't played like this. Like, legitimately, if someone was playing Dark Knight, this is all they were doing. And they were rewarded for it. They were rewarded for it in spades, bro. Unfortunately. That delay after the Grand Slam, it's too slow now. Really? Even if you're hitting grounded or someone hard stunned with it? I kind of believe you. Let's see what the robot buddies are like. Or rather, let me see if there's a counterattack, because I actually can't remember. Oh, looks like it launches, probably sets you up for the air combo. Can I jump cancel that counter? Of course. I'm almost positive you should be able to. I believe you have a speed boost in this as well. All the thing that happened in the past, it's possible, just not as insane. Yeah, I'm sure by today's standards it's not as good, but I believe this guy's probably still viable. I think that's it mechanically. There's some, I'm sure there's some crazy combos I could do. I don't even want to try to practice them. That's how demoralized I get when I think about how just downright annoying it was to fight this character. Whew. I will show you the skills, however. Trinket is crazy good in a crowd. You summon your Knight Buddies, and they will continually hard stun anyone they hit. It's not unique level, obviously, but that's still a decent trinket. I haven't seen a Dark Knight since 2022. That's how bad it is, well. Okay. And I'll also take this time to show off the... I guess we'll get the helmet out of the way. It's a grab. It didn't work on NA. It seems to, like, sap health or something, perhaps. I couldn't tell you. It's a grab, so it picks up off grounded more than likely. Yeah. I'm not sure what that does. I can tell you the armor, though. You give yourself and nearby allies light super armor. So guard breakers will go through and hit you, but regular attacks will not. You'll still lose health on regular attacks, but not only that, I think you reverse people's controls. And while you and your teammates have that aura, each of your attacks is guard breaking. Actually nuts. It's a really good armor. Maybe not like the best in the game, but it's a really good armor. Let's show the weapon skill. You slash a bunch of times. If you hold D at any point during this, you'll do a projectile that pushes back and hard stuns. Reminds me of Hawarang weapon skill in a way. And it looks like it gives you a ton of meter for your passive. I want to see that actually. Armor will also stun the enemy after a while. Okay, thank you. That wasn't happening to the HQ dummies, so I wasn't sure if that was a thing anymore. Just landing your weapon skill gives you 60 of your 100 meter. That's kind of nuts. I'm also assuming it'll hit grounded. Yes, it hit in an awkward way. I'm sure that was just a fluke. In fact, we'll try one more time. Look, I already said I don't play this character. Don't make fun of me. Well, that was still on thing, but sure.
Combo.
Wait till the string is finished before throwing the projectile. Okay.
Good hit. Can combo.
If you do this, though, enemy have a chance to jump over it. Really?
Good hit. Can combo.
Okay. Alright. That's about it. When you're in your install form, you can't use any of your other skills except your weapon skill, but honestly, I don't think you are hurting for anything at all with this character. Counter, all these crazy moves. If this character released today with maybe like a little more busted functionality, I would believe it. Okay, we're moving on to... Oh, whoops. Where do I put him? I have so much hatred in my heart for the memories I have of fighting this guy, and the fact that nobody played him like a character. They would just spam the triple air slash and then air dash backwards for safety. It's like Alice levels and Surfer levels of being annoying, man. Which sucks, because he's so cool. I think he's an S, though. Like, no offense, he's definitely not an A. Pretty sure he's an S. Next character on the list. And the last character we'll be doing tonight. Let me just take a quick glance. Okay. Wow. One of my favorite characters. I'm gonna be rusty, so please bear with me. But this is Jumper. He's a rare character, so you're gonna have to pay for him. Here's the male portrait. Here's the female portrait. Very cute. Mine was male, though, actually. It's a character of mine. Let me go ahead and borrow him. We'll actually see what the femme one looks like in game. He's under the rare category. Here's Jumper. I forgot the hat looked like that, I'm gonna be honest with you. Current meta is so bad that newly released Strider is considered okay. Holy shit, what is going on with the game? Well, I know Labiata's like fucking insane. I saw some videos on her. Like, wow. In fact, she's in the shop right now. If I would buy her if this was the NA server, but it's not. Anyway, moving along. Here's Jumper. Rare character. Melee. With a lot under the hood that I will go over when we get there. 4-hit basics. 4th hit launches. You can loop your string once. With an asterisk. More on that later. You have a jump cancel on the last hit to go into your 3-hit air combo, which does a nice ground slam. And you have a 3-hit dasher. 3rd hit feints. Your basic string does not pick up... What? Huh? Bro, since when does the basic string pick up off feinted? I don't remember that. So I was about to say your basic string doesn't pick up off feint, but there's a way to pick up off feint. And that's to aim 2 basics away from them. What the hell? What a great change. What I used to do is I would try to... Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different character, actually. It's always been like that? What do you mean? I don't remember that. I remember having to aim the last hit of my 4th hit of the combo. I guess I could be remembering wrong there. That's fine. Let's move on. You don't have an air dash. You do have a 100-meter passive, though. Using 30 meter of your passive, you hold D on the ground, or in the air. It's actually the same attack. You will grab, and this is a functional grab. This worked on the NA server, despite being a grab. If they just could have taken the code from this grab, minus the teleport, and given it to every other grab in the game, specifically for the NA server, we would have been way better off. You can chain this as much as you have meter. Looks like the 3rd one will hard knockdown. They also lowered the teleport cost from 25 to 20. Oh my god. On the topic of that, with your 100-meter passive, you can double tap a direction to warp there. Looks like it costs 20. It used to be 25. Damn. You can warp off of, like, anything, I'm pretty sure. Let's let the, not the passive meter pop up here. But my favorite application of this was 2 hits of the dasher, warp behind them, 3rd hit for the full feint. And I think you might even be able to, might even be able to be tricky with it. Yeah. And then warp again afterwards. Or if you want to burn a lot of your meter, bam. Try to be tricky with it. Bam, dude. I fucking love Jumper. Let's see. I'm trying to remember anything else off the top of my head. There is a counter, but buckle up. Put your seatbelts on. This is why Jumper was one of my favorite characters. It's going to be a little awkward having meter, so maybe I'll burn meter if I start struggling to do it, but you know how I said you can loop your basic string once, right? Well, I have to actually land it first. Yikes. What if I told you you could dash cancel your basic string?
Amazing!
Okay, you could loop that maybe 3 times if you're really good with the timing. I'm since way out of practice. But this is like so fucking cool. It's a reset, I think was the actual term. I did a full 2 loops there. Maybe we can get 3 in. I got the first hit of the 3rd string in there. Let me try one more time. If you're... I don't know how to describe it. You have to dash cancel the hit, but in a certain way, and I don't know how to describe it, because obviously if you dash cancel, you're going to get your warp instead. It's like, I don't know if it's a certain timing or what. Let's try one more time here. I would use this guy up until like the day the damn server died, dude. I love my Jumper. It was in like the 40s. Ah, damn, I think I could have gotten another loop there. Well, definitely not when you do the last hit. Whoops. I can get the first hit of that, but I'm pretty sure. The trick is to wait for the animation to be over, really. This is just like, this is muscle memory at this point. Yeah, the most I can do is an 11er. Ooh, okay, I got an extra hit in there. Dude, with enough practice, I could do that maybe 2 times after the initial launcher. And then, I mean, like, who's to say you can't then just warp behind him with the last hit? I struggle sometimes to get the warp out, because I'm instead doing the dash cancel. Damn, I could have done that like one more time. I showed it on the first Lost Saga tier list stream, but one of my favorite Lost Saga videos is Jumper versus Vampire. And it perfectly showcases a skilled Jumper with like some wacky gears on, and a Vampire decked out in the full try-hard sweaty loser gear. D'Artagnan, or Gumiho ears, Arcanist robe, Ancient Spirit trinket, only walking around for the fucking passive before he engages. Dude, the stinky fucking loser virgin Vampire versus the fucking Chad Jumper with his skill ceiling. I mean, it's not that hard to do, but it's not easy to do either, conversely. This is a fun fucking character, and I haven't really showed off everything yet either. Well, for the most part, I guess I kind of have. It can be kind of tricky, like 2 hits of this, 2 hits of that. In fact, let me see. We will... Hang on, I'm going to do the loop one more time. What happens if you hit it again there? They get knocked back. Okay, so that's not ideal. not air decay, but like the gravity's kind of fucking me up. But I used to be able to get 2 hits in the grab, 2 hits in the grab, 2 hits in the grab. I actually ran out of meter there, since the grab costs like a full 30, it looks like. Which makes sense. It's a really good move. You can aim where that goes, by the way. Kinda nuts. If you want easy cancels, do 3 strings of the basic attack and cancel when you see the string ended. I think I know what you mean. I've only been going off of vibes alone. Let's see. The most I can do is an extra 2 hits. At least so far. The last hit of your jump attack feints. I don't fucking remember that, dude. Damn! I have old gameplay videos of me playing Jumper. Dude, I gotta dust those off, because I feel like these are changes. I've had Jumper since the day he came out. Pretty sound advice, honestly. Thank you, Box. Okay, we have some defensive capabilities to show off. At least a counterattack. I know I've been saying it a lot tonight, but like, oh, this was my favorite character. Like, legitimately, I fucking love Jumper. Let's do that one more time. I was just hitting the wrong button for that. Alright, counterattack. It's in uppercut. I don't know if it sets you up perfectly or not, but... Let me see if I can get 2 loops out of that. Ah, come on, that one felt good. I scrubbed it up. Whoops! Bye-bye. Weapon skill spoiler. Last hit has always been a feint, even in the Jumper vs. Vampire video, it feints. Okay. Look, homeboy. The server that I played on has been dead for 7 years? People can remember. Alright, moving on. Counterattack. Maybe I shouldn't be trying with the Ogre. Try with the Ooh, that was so many hits off of one counterattack. I love it. It's a bit of a slow counter, though, admittedly. All right, let's move on to the skills. Trinket is weird. Like, you tap your D key and start warping around. There is a specific way you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to, like, warp in and out of the chart. Hello? FK? I don't know what that was. What pissed me off about the counter is that it doesn't hit 360. By the way, the helm is useless now. Enemy hit by it gets a 9% damage resistance until you hit them 4 times. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. The helmet skill was kind of busted. Let me see if I can do this. You're supposed to go back and forth. You'll warp up with the target and do them fall damage or give them fall damage. The problem is you yourself are setting yourself up for fall damage if you're not careful. By the way, I did mention this earlier, but I mentioned how Shadow Assassin can, like, warp under the map and then he'll just land back up wherever he should have landed above him. I don't know, it's cool. So also very tricky, or you could be very tricky with it. I mean, it's a really cool looking skill, don't get me wrong. If you fuck up the timing, you don't I think you're meant to get the fall damage. Oh, you know what? That's probably more ideal. Instead of falling down with them, you land back down and then you get the ground bounce. Okay, moving on to the helmet skill. You put a marker down for where you want this thing to warp to. The enemy gets hard stunned. So long as they're in that, they get hard stunned and then warp back. But apparently, it's useless now because enemies hit by the helmet skill get 90% damage resistance until you hit them 4 times. Jesus, dude. Because, I mean, you could set this up like gross, bro. I guess not if the starting point and the warp are on top of each other, but yeah. That was used in a lot of, like, high damaging combos. Armor skill. Oh, I remember the armor skill now. I had forgotten for a second. Okay, I loved this thing back in the day. You get a targeting reticule. It's map wide for the most part. And it's a fast targeting reticule. You will swap locations with whoever you hit. And it has an air use, so... Well, if I didn't whiff the targeting there, just show it for me. It's a little bit closer. Bye-bye! The problem is, it's not... It doesn't, like, hard knock them down out of it, so they could land in safety. Let's try that one more time further away. Recover from that, idiot. For some reason, they nerfed the cooldown on the armor. Like, it lasts... it's quicker now, or they made it longer? 37 seconds on the armor? Gross. I don't remember it being that bad at all. Jesus. Like, maybe back in the day, this thing was really strong, but not so much now. I think if you use it on a grounded opponent, it's a hard stun. Yeah, it's a hard stun if you use it on an opponent on the ground. So there's that, I guess. Depending on the situation, either would be, you know, maybe you want the fall damage, maybe you want the hard stun, depends on the situation. And lastly, I showed off the weapon skill earlier. It's pretty nuts. You grab every enemy and that pull them into that vortex. And in fact, we'll show you just how many you can grab at a time. It has uses in one custom game called Drop KO. Maybe with a trapper hero. Yeah, I could see that. Warp someone into your traps. So here's the weapon skill. You pull people in, except here's the thing. Oh, I guess there's a hard limit on the amount of people you can grab. I actually didn't know that. I thought you could grab a whole team if you wanted. Yeah, anyone that's not part of it just kind of awkwardly spins around. There's an aspect about this that I would like to show off. So let's say, oh, I fired it in the wrong direction. I whiffed my weapon skill. What am I going to do? You can... I thought you could cancel it early. Okay, yeah, you can by pressing the attack key. For a few seconds, you can actually still grab things. Wait, did they change that? I remember you used to be able to... Okay, yeah, you can. Only for like a split second. Wow, that hardly lasted any time at all. So let's say I want to get Dev K. As long as I move it close to him in time, bam. You can do the basic attack string if you place the enemy in front of you. Also, they give you like 2 seconds to grab someone in the orb. Yes, that's exactly what I just said. So, I want to say that's it for the character. Like, a tricky, fun, high skill ceiling character that I love Jumper. I love Jumper with all my heart, man. So, I think it goes without saying. That's not my tier listers. I think it goes without saying. Jumper is an easy S tier, man. Old version goes through floors. I was trying that just now, yeah. I remember the weapon skill going through floors. I guess they nerfed it in that regard as well. Either way, it's still a very strong character. I think I understand what you mean where you said it's too slow. Yeah, I could see that having trouble with whatever the current meta is. I don't even really know the characters after Vulcan. I haven't even really played any of the characters after Vulcan. So... we'll see what that's going to be like in a future stream. For now, that's going to do it for me. We will do this again sometime next week. Tomorrow, I'll be back at the usual hour with Touhou Pocket Wars. We should be near the end of the base game story. That'll be fun. If you're using Jumper for the grabs and drop, it's okay. Otherwise, it's too slow. I still try to rock it, bro. Unless they have things that are lightning fast as Yumira, install form slashes. If it's that fast, well then, yeah, I can't do anything about that, but I would still try to rock Jumper in this day and age. If I could magically have my account back and the servers back online, I would still be rocking Jumper. Not as my main, obviously. My main's always going to be my Destroyer. I love her. But it is what it is. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out, Box. I appreciate all the help. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. Maybe I will be back later with some other kind of little mini bonus stream. Not sure. Still kind of in the mood to stream, but my voice is a little shot, so I'll catch you next time.